Hey everyone, welcome back to 22 Panels. This is the podcast that aims to examine, explore, and elevate the medium of comics. I am Tyler and I am exhausted. And across the interwebs from me is Tad and Phil. Good morning,
And we
guys.
are exhausted for different reasons.
Different reasons. Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
best
Yeah,
reasons.
yeah, but you
You,
know what this is, Tyler? And
what's
Phil
up?
hasn't been around for all of this.
What?
But like my student told me as he was getting on the bus on Friday,
Yeah.
like happy 200th.
Say that again. What?
Happy 200th.
Oh, it's 200th episode
Woo!
today.
200 Saturdays in a row we have done this. Or 200 weekends in a row.
Yes, Phil.
There we go. Yeah,
200.
It's
that's
so
that's
exciting.
impressive.
Phil, it's so exciting that you're here with us for this because I feel like our lineup is complete.
Well, thank you. I mean, that feels great. I'm trying to think of what happened around Spider-Man 200. What happened
yeah,
around Batman 200. Those are two
yeah,
very different ranges of 200s, but still,
yep,
um, it feels good. Thanks.
yeah. It's funny. It's fun.
Amazing
Tad, and
Spider-Man 200.
well, and Tad, hold on. You look that up. Like I tell you, you have not missed any weekly episodes.
Have not.
You have been on every single one. I've missed. I probably five or six over the last three
I don't
years.
know if it's been that many, but yeah,
I, I mean,
at
over the
least
it's
three to
we're at
five.
we're
Still a
at
good
three.
percentage.
We're at 3.5 years right now. No, almost 4 years of doing this show right now. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's crazy. I love
Yeah,
it.
I
I'm
mean, it's even if that's 5 out of 200, that's like 2.5%. That's still like a 98% showing up rate. You're the backbone.
oh, Tad is
You
the
know,
backbone.
well, Tad. Okay,
Tad.
Tad's the backbone.
This is
Uh,
Tad's show. Listeners out there, I'm going to tell you something. Tad behind the scenes, Tad does everything. I I
Well,
upload the
I
episodes
mean,
and
you
I'm
need,
behind.
yeah. Now you got to teach me how to do that.
Yeah, no. Here's the
No,
thing, Tad. I
I
feel
mean, I
so
guess
bad
I'll
about
take it.
asking you.
Yeah, I guess I'll take it. I'm like one of the things that I really took away from some of the avocado era interviews and then the Pearl Jam 20 documentary was like as much as Eddie was the one that auditioned and joined the band, very
Yeah.
quickly Pearl Jam became Eddie's band. So what I thank you for, Tyler, is for
Yes.
allowing this
This
to
is
become my podcast, even though like it wouldn't have happened if you hadn't gone,
that's
hey,
what
Dad, you want to do a podcast?
That's what makes it interesting. So, Phil, basically, the story is I was doing a podcast called
Smash and grab.
Smash and Grab Comics.
hmm.
Okay. And then that fizzled out, and Tad had, in the past, while I was doing that podcast, Tad got married to an old friend of mine, Kelly. So we connected that way when I was looking for people to chat
I
with,
was a
right?
guest on your podcast.
Yep.
Oh, there you
And
go.
and then
Yeah.
so I
He
reached
called
out.
it a budding bromance, and then we didn't talk again for 2 years.
then yeah, then I put on Facebook, hey, I want to start something, and Kelly said, hey, talk to Tad. She'd like
And
talk
I
to
got a
Tad.
phone call like 10 minutes later.
Yep, yep. Okay, so that's how it started. Then
And at that
Tad,
point, we still hadn't met each other in person.
hmm.
no, probably not.
How many?
Uh,
I think we'd recorded like at least 20 or 30 episodes before the first time we met in person.
yeah, and I think we
Uh,
met in person. Didn't I come to your house?
yeah, because we missed each other that Christmas, even though I was out there. We just never managed to connect.
Yeah,
Oh,
We recorded an episode where I was in South Dakota and you were in
Minnesota.
Laverne, but we didn't manage to.
Meet up. You know,
Right.
so
Because I
then,
talked to Bob Sikoryak and Bryce Ingman, which were both really
yep,
early podcast
early
interviews from
interviews.
from
Yep,
Ellie's parents' basement.
yep. Yep. Well, so anyway, what happened, Phil, is Tad just took off with the interviews, right? He
hmm.
was getting anyone and everyone that he could. And for me, it just became too busy of a podcast to be on all the stuff Tad wanted to do. So,
Well, and then I started doing book clubs, and he's like, "Fuck you, man."
no, I did not say that. I said I can.
I'm
I
kidding.
said I cannot. I just don't have that kind of time. Oh man. So I am committed to the Saturday episode. That's 100%. You will never have to question that.
There we
But
go.
anything else, I just don't have the time.
Well,
understand
I
that.
mean, you do, but you think that like spending time with your children and your wife and keeping a roof over their head is like important.
How dare you?
You know, guys, I am such the type of
They're
person that
supposed to do the work so that you can make the comics podcast. That's the way it works in my house. Thank you, Ted.
hey, Peggy's got her daycare and I have got my store, and we're gonna run these two businesses and be amazing. You know what I mean? I don't
Right.
want to go the traditional route of having a job ever again.
Mm.
You know, I mean, I'm not lazy, but at the same time,
Right.
I'm.
But
No,
you
I
were
know what
smart
you
enough
mean.
to keep your teacher credential.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
that would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Do you know how? Do you know how much harder? Because I graduated in South Dakota. Okay,
Right.
so I had to get a South Dakota license since that's where I was taught,
Right.
Yep.
and that test was no big deal. I
Mhm.
went to Minnesota
Right.
and took the Minnesota licensing. Holy heck, way harder.
You mean that they care about their teachers being able to like teach in Minnesota?
Yeah, the
No
Minnesota.
offense to South Dakota teachers. Most of the teachers, I'm certain, are fantastic. I'm
Right.
just saying your
The min-
government doesn't give two shits about you.
The Minnesota license, you guys, was like you had to write all these essays of scenarios of classroom situations, very specific classroom situations, and you had to detail. I mean, Kelly's took these tests for Illinois. She knows. Um,
I think she's got a Minnesota license too.
there you go. I mean,
Because she actually got the Minnesota and
I had an
Iowa.
Iowa one as well.
Yeah,
But
she got the Minnesota and Iowa before she
Mhm.
met me because she'd already figured that like her days in South Dakota were numbered.
when her and I were working together, she was starting her master's program. I think
Her
Her
first
first one.
master's program.
her first,
She
her
actually
first one.
she actually had a kid yesterday. And our theory is that he's got an older sibling that wants to study art and is getting the talk from parents. But she had a kid yesterday that told her that my mom and dad say that art degrees are pointless.
My mom
And
and
she
dad said
said,
that too.
and she said, well,
Oh.
that's okay. I have 3 degrees and only one of them's in art.
That's funny.
I
is funny.
have I have two bachelors with 3 majors, and only
Mhm.
one's in art. So,
Right, right. So
but guys, no, yeah, my store. I wanted to apologize because now I was very busy before, but now I am so busy, and I'm doing my
no,
best,
don't
guys.
apologize
Don't
because
give
I'm
up on me.
before
Don't
too
No,
long.
of course not.
don't kick me out.
Before too long, I'm going to start taking advantage of you to get the like the big expensive hardcovers that I want at cost.
Yes, yes, guys,
I
guys,
mean, I've
your
got-
Christmas presents are going to be
I
great.
mean, I was gonna
I'm
say.
I'm gonna
I was say,
for
I'm
that
just-
matter, I'm gonna make certain that like my mother and my in-laws and whatnot all have your email address so
Yes.
that they can also get big expensive hardcovers and whatnot for me.
You're laughing.
cost.
You're laughing, but I'm serious.
No,
No,
I-
I'm not laughing. I'm
I'm
saying that this
I'm
is
laughing with excitement. I have like a mental backlog of
Yeah,
of
me too.
nice hardcovers. that
Mine's
I'm
not
like,
even a
"Ooh."
backlog or a mental backlog. I have a list.
There
Guys,
you go.
okay, absolutely serious. Give me the list because I'm putting I'm putting in.
Mhm.
I'm opening
I
my
understand.
accounts ASAP. So
right.
yeah, I mean, so yeah. Anywho,
I mean, it's the Amazon wish list labeled absolute editions and omnibuy. There's
Okay.
also one labeled just books. Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
great, guys. I'm not.
There we
I
go.
am so
So you're-
pumped for this.
I was gonna say, how close are you to opening now? Because I remember initially you said September, but I think it got pushed back to October.
We have a September 20th, a soft date of September 20th.
Okay.
And
Okay.
which we're still shooting for. I personally don't think it's going to happen. we
Not with
are
that
just
attitude.
no.
When are you trying to set up your first lunar and PRH shipments?
Oh,
Have you gotten
November.
that sorted out?
Mm,
Okay.
November. Yeah,
okay.
I'm way behind, right? And
No, that's
Okay.
understandable.
so opening our doors, we're going to have um secondhand comics and then
Hmm.
graded, and I've got raw comics, but I've got some
Hmm.
graded stuff to go on the wall. I think will look nice.
Hmm.
Um I have got uh figures that Spider-Man, and I got a Wolverine
Right.
one.
Right.
What
Hmm.
figurines? There you go. I got a
So
few of those. I've got lots of pops. We've got cards up the wazoo that people have donated, and yeah, we're gonna start with
what
you stuff. When
I know that you talked about it briefly before. Are you setting up a web store
yeah,
concurrently, or are you going to be doing that down the line?
yeah, it's concurrent. So
Okay.
Hmm.
because the books that I have on hand right now are gonna sell online. They won't sell in my
Right.
store in Laverne,
So
Minnesota.
so
They're
here
too
here
Hmm.
expensive.
have you figured out what um and this is more of an off-air question. Have you looked into
Sure,
like
sure.
your point of sale and pull list type software? Because like
So
you can
I'm
start
working on.
your pull list as early as when you open and just let them
Hmm.
know that like it's from the September catalog for November and later,
That's
and
where
and
I'm at
that
right
gives
now.
you the opportunity to
So here's what I'm at.
yeah, okay,
The industry standard was to use Comic Suite by Diamond,
Hmm.
but that's not going to
right.
work anymore.
No,
So
no, no,
I
no. It
yes, I'm
doesn't
in the
even
market.
exist anymore. There are a couple of
I'm in the
different
market for a new.
yeah, there are a
Let me
couple different
see
options.
what.
There's Comics Pro. I forget what Challengers uses, but if you go listen to their podcast, I'm certain that you'll for that matter, I would actually recommend that you go start listening to some back issues of Challengers because theirs is specifically a comics industry podcast. They talk about a lot of store stuff,
Yeah.
Great.
and
And that's exactly what I
they're
need
like
because
700 episodes in now.
Oh wow. There you
great.
go. The.
Because that's exactly what I need as far as like those little questions about
Hmm.
Right.
um yeah, anyway, and I'll learn it all as I go too. I know that. It's just right
Right.
now I'm just gearing towards
But
getting those freaking doors
I
Yeah.
open.
would absolutely say like don't be afraid to reach out to other comic shops all over the country, all over the world.
Yeah.
Just A, to make connections in general, and B, to ask for advice, to ask them what they do, to you know, um, because I think one of the biggest strengths of the direct market is that you've got a lot of people with a common purpose who it all to stay to keep each other in business, to not view each other as competitors.
Yeah,
Um, but
I
because they're
agree.
not one big corporation, because there's a lot of small businesses, you get to
Hmm.
hear a lot of different ideas and you can figure out which ones fit your community,
Hmm.
Yeah.
your needs,
So
your way of operating.
we purchased our POS hardware,
Hmm.
Right,
so that was it was this whole cool setup of screen, drawer, everything, and
right,
computer from Square. So
Hmm.
we
right.
ordered the Square one, and then yeah, now we're just looking for software. And yeah, so
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, my comic shop, Rick's Comic City, best shop in Nashville. If you're ever in town, um, they use myshopify.com for managing pull list, so that
Right.
yeah,
okay.
in between.
Well, and I know that there's actually a comics client
Mm,
that that integrates with Shopify.
okay.
So,
Okay,
I mean,
guys, I'm
because
on
that's
my
what
shop.
that's what Challengers uses.
Can you repeat that, Phil? Because I
It
have
was
my
yeah,
Shopify pulled up and it says does not exist. It says this
yeah.
store does not
Uh,
exist.
Well, so
Anyway,
that's the thing is the
oh, I'm
URL
on it. Yeah.
is their store name rickscomiccity.myshopify.com. So it might be if you might need to Google my Shopify to get to their you know main website features what have you. I am not sure. I haven't investigated that
Okay.
too much. Yeah.
That's cool. Well, guys, let's keep plowing forward. We can quit talking about me. What's going on with Diamond?
Well, I mean, this isn't as much a diamond thing as a
Dark
more
Horse. And
great knowledgeable people from Diamond have been poached. Their longtime purchasing manager. Um, well, it looks like he was a sales manager at DC Comics before that, etc. So like lots of uh yeah. Anyway, um Stuart Schreck has left to join Dark Horse in their direct market department. So major pickup for Dark Horse in terms of institutional knowledge, etc. And one more nail in the Diamond Coffin. Um, the the next little piece of news, and I love it when this shit happens. A number of stores were opening their blind bags early and
Yes.
selling it off. That's awesome.
selling stuff ahead of the street date. And
Mm.
Lunar has
No, no, no.
Lunar has said that blind bags must not be in customers' possession prior to street date, and the contents of the blind bags may not be shown or disclosed before the street date. And retailers who violate this policy may be restricted from participating in future blind bag programs, and also the possibility that they will stop getting their comics early.
Yeah,
So
I mean, if you're not going to play their games, or not their games, if you're not going to play by the rules, they're not going to play with you. You know what I mean? They want this to be a
well, I
fun
mean,
thing for.
like, you know my opinion. I would love it if this sort of shit went away entirely.
Yes.
I think there's a
Yeah.
very small selection of stores that it actually benefits. I sometimes think the benefits to the companies and the creators are overstated, but like that's the one place that it bothers me a little bit less. Um, and just in general, I think comics as collectibles works against comics as readables.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah.
agree.
I feel like they're kind of conflicting.
Oh, yes, very
uh,
much.
so I feel like anything that plays that up is something that I don't like. But like, it's even worse when it's like, oh, let's take this thing. Everybody else is waiting for their blind bag, but if you want to get in early, let me open it. You get to see what you're getting.
Yeah.
Oh. So what do you even I don't even know what the whole I mean I get the hullabaloo about selling it early, but like is it just that oh you don't know which variant cover you're getting in these bags? Like
What is that you're guaranteed um I think at least a foil variant.
oh
Um but the blind bags also have like the 1 in 500 Jim Lee variant, the 1 in 1,000 Jorge Jimenez variant.
mhm.
Um so there's a chance that $10 gets you that 1 in
Um,
1,000 rather
Mhm.
than
You know I hear Powerball is getting up
so
to a pretty high amount too,
yeah,
so
yeah, no, I feel you.
I'm not a fan.
Feel you.
I'm not a fan of this kind of gambling, but whatever.
yeah.
It's
See I
I mean,
and this
I like I get it when it's
if I
like,
want that variant, I'm going to have to just go out and buy it. Is my opinion.
yeah, no, if I want a variant, I'm gonna go get it.
Yep.
But what I mean is, to me, it's like the baseball card pack. I mean, to me,
Yep.
the single greatest joy of baseball cards is not
Is
having
opening.
them; it's opening them.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
I would argue there's a specific joy in not having baseball cards.
Is there a
Sorry.
specific joy, or is there just a lack of?
A
There's
lack of
just a
lack
lack of
of
joy. There's
lack of joy in your
it's not.
life.
No. It's not a lack of joy in your life. It's a lack of that kind of joy. You don't
That's
gain
fair.
anything from not having baseball cards. I mean, maybe a few bucks here and
Money.
there.
That's brain space
I
that
mean,
I can
but
then
I don't
dedicate
actually
to
spend that
superheroes.
much money.
No, that's
I was
fair.
about to say, dude, you start getting into me on brain space, and I'm going to start talking to you about why that art degree that we were talking about earlier is important. Name to me a like a genius,
Mhm.
a world-shattering
Mhm.
mind in any
Mhm.
field that wasn't a polyglot.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's funny. The first name that came to mind was Hieronymus Bosch, but
Yeah, that's a good one.
yeah, I was gonna say it's I don't know if genius. He certainly was a fan of psychedelic mold back in the day.
Right,
Psychedelic mold.
like
No, I agree. I agree.
Feynman drew and
Multidisciplined,
played bongos.
wide. Yes,
Right.
no. Going from a wide
Einstein
variety of
played
disciplines. Yeah,
violin.
yeah,
You know, I
absolutely.
mean, the number of times my baseball knowledge matters to other things just because it helps me frame things
That's
is
fair.
incalculable.
That is actually very fair. That's that.
And
Well, not
whether
only
it's
that,
helping me frame things to other people or just understand them better myself. I mean,
absolutely.
I have understood statistics at a level that most people who've taken college statistics but don't have statistics degrees,
Hmm.
right, have understood statistics since I was like 8 or 9.
Nice.
And it's
Ted,
all
can
because of
I have to confess something to you. When you started the motif of like incorporating baseball elements into our rundown, I thought it was just a quirky, unique way of presenting podcasting. Like I did not realize that it was a way for you to feel, I don't know, grounded. I don't
Mhm.
is I did not realize that,
It really is.
that
I mean,
okay.
part of it is, I mean, yeah, sure, it's quirky, but like it's also it's totally grounded in my OCD, my autism, my
Yep.
whatnot. It's like
And this is where I just want to say real quick that it, I am not a sports person, you know. I don't follow any sports. I was raised to watch sports, and so I can follow games, but I don't.
yeah,
However,
I don't either, Phil, but
yeah,
I watch baseball.
that's fair. And
And
where I was
really, I
going to
read
go,
about baseball.
where I
I
was going to go
read
with
about
this,
baseball way more than I watch baseball.
in looking back, you know, our 200th episode retrospective, I will listen to you talk baseball with anyone and everyone because I still remember way back the first time you had Chris Cantwell on and Tyler popped off the interview, and then you kept talking to him for like a good half hour
Yeah.
just about baseball. And like
And
I felt like
that's
I literally got to
literally
listen
where
to
our
you two become
friendship came from.
friends. Yes, exactly. And it
Yeah.
was a beautiful
Yeah.
thing.
That's literally where our
Uh,
friendship was built. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, and just to take another second off there, like uh uh you know, so with me joining you guys recently, relatively recently for your journey, you know, honored, grateful. Thank you so much. You're both awesome. I love being here.
I think we make great friends, Phil.
Yeah, yeah.
I
And like
do.
it's well, it's the kind of thing that I I you know, if this is a sort of side venture, I've almost gotten roped into a couple side ventures that in hindsight I'm like, oh hey, yeah, no, those guys were kind of shady. You guys are great. You know, I've listened to enough of you to know that you're good people. And like those moments of literally like hearing you bond over baseball is just it's just such a wonderful thing to be able to witness auditorially.
Here's what you hear on people listening on our
I
podcast.
do
This is
I do want a
this is
quick
100% Tad and I and Phil. Now, all we are all very authentic. None of
uh,
this is
Mhm.
like none of us are putting on an act. None of us are trying to make a show. We are literally on a Saturday morning just shooting the shit.
Yep.
I do want to toss in though.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Phil has been around since episode 14.
Yeah.
Phil
How many
was
do
He's
you
the
the guy.
great
have?
responsibility of episode 14.
Whew.
Yeah, Phil, you got brought up as somebody who listened to the show. I think that's how you
Yeah.
started came into my
who happened to have a short comic.
Yeah. He jumped into my Twitter DMs
I did.
and
Snuck right
said,
in
"I
there.
talked to you in my car.
nice.
Yep.
Was there any way that I could actually talk to you?"
Right. So the funny
And
thing
my
about that,
initial response was like, "Let me think on
Yeah.
that and talk to Tyler. I'm not opposed to
yeah,
it." And then I went, "Oh, wait, you have a comic. Yes, you can
Yes.
talk to us. You're a
that's right,
creator."
kids. Comic books open doors.
Okay. So, but Phil, I want you guys both to know I love the status that we're at now. Phil,
Uh,
no, I'm not saying you taking more
Hmm.
time to do interviews has helped me, but it has made me feel less guilty about not being able to be on with Tad when I get when I get the episodes from Tad
Hmm.
and I'm uploading, I'm like, oh sweet, Phil was there. Okay, good.
Nice. There we go.
You know what I mean? Because
I
I honestly did not want to leave Tad to do interviews by himself. It's just yeah, this got too busy.
it's too
I
many
mean, I
strangers.
kind of like it sometimes,
That's okay.
but
You do?
I don't. Well, no, I don't like it. I don't. I don't. I'm not trying to say that I like it better than like
Hmm.
with somebody,
Yeah.
but like,
When we
uh,
started off, you did because you wanted just some reassurance, I think. And
yeah,
then,
no, it was. I was more afraid of silences then.
Hmm.
uh-huh. Yep.
I've become more comfortable with thinking of my questions on the fly. Um,
Well, and I think listeners now know that there are moments where there is quiet because we are literally just thinking for a second, you know. And I know it doesn't
right.
sound great on a podcast, but hey, that's us.
You know.
But I don't actually know that it sounds terrible either.
I don't know. Have you listened to us back in a
You
while?
know, I mean, I have from time to time.
Okay.
I mean,
I
not a
tend to
ton.
listen between things I say.
But what I'm saying is that unlike radio,
Yeah.
where it's supposed to be more formulated, and like if it was a serial podcast
Oh yeah.
or some like actually produced podcast, then yeah, the dead space doesn't work. But like what brought Phil in was he felt like he was part of the conversation.
Yeah.
Correct.
There are
Correct.
moments of silence in conversations. We're sharing conversations, not
I get it. Not telling a
um
Yeah.
story. Yeah.
produced. So, right.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. It's
Um
just different. It's just a different animal, and I
so
love it because it is to me. This podcast is different and unique, and again quirky, and I love
uh,
that. You know.
I mean we are now though 45 minutes in and we haven't gotten to our third news item.
Holy
Dun
So
buckets,
dun
we
dun
better
I
get
mean
moving.
dun.
I gotta build my store today. We gotta go.
Oh,
don't get me wrong, I'm loving this. But this is already going to be one of the longer episodes. Um
it's a
so
Super Spies anniversary spectacular.
right. What kind of week has it been? Let me frame something for our listeners who may not understand when the president tweets out snuff videos.
Jeez.
Um, when there is a boat
Mm.
off the coast of Venezuela, it doesn't matter if you think there are drugs or terrorists on it. When you decide to blow it up
Mm.
rather than stopping it to investigate, that is called murder.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. I didn't hear about the boat in Venezuela. I just heard about the boat off the shore of North Korea.
No,
There was a
no, 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 no,
similar.
no.
Well, they didn't blow it
Well,
up.
that that
That was
that
SEAL
was
Team
that
Six.
was
Yeah,
that
or
was
not six,
way
but that
back
was a
in
SEAL team.
2019.
Yeah, that too.
But no,
It's
no, this
yeah.
is literally this week.
Wow.
He says, "Oh, Tren de Agua, who are terrorists, because we just call anything we want to shoot terrorists.
Hmm.
We're bringing drugs into this country in a speedboat that would have had to refill probably like a half dozen times to get to
To get up here. Yeah.
the United States with 11 people in it."
Wow.
Which
And
I mean,
they're carrying drugs in a speedboat full of
we
11
know,
people.
right? We know that drug smugglers are really, really well known for taking up space that could go to product with extra people.
Mm.
Ridiculous.
A
That didn't
speedboat
happen.
that easily could have been manned by one or two with 11
And
people in it.
filled.
So most likely it was actually transporting migrants. Given the range, given what we know, as likely that it was going to Trinidad Tobago as the United States. And beyond all of that, even if everything the administration says is true,
highly doubt.
there's no legal justification to blow it up.
Yeah.
And what's more is they still haven't offered one.
Yeah. Even less of a moral reason.
But they have implied that they plan to do it again. As they renamed the Department of Defense the Department of War.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hey, you guys hear about they're going to try to remove guns from transgender individuals? Did you guys hear that one
They
yesterday?
lost the NRA on that one.
I was going to say.
Hear about that one.
They did.
The NRA, last time I looked, the NRA had
Phil, we heard about that from our guest last night.
I also,
our guest brought that up last night.
I'd seen it on Blue Sky that the NRA said we cannot support any legislature that takes guns away from anyone. And it's just like, wow, talk about sticking to your guns.
Yeah, no, they lost. They decided that while everybody else was still reeling from Parkland is when the gun people decided, oh, no, we can't have red flag laws.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Anyway, let's talk about some New to Order. It's kind of a light month on New to Order, so
a little bit.
We're gonna get through.
All right,
still good.
Batman Static Beyond #1. I'm unfamiliar with Static, but he looks kind of cool.
Static's awesome.
Okay,
Static is from Milestone, dude.
Yeah,
we've only recorded how many Milestone Universe podcasts? You haven't bothered to listen to any of them?
Not the entire. No, I will say.
Okay, I now know what Tyler is listening to while he's building. There you
go.
Bookshelves this afternoon.
There you go.
For that matter, once you start working the counter, you can just start getting caught up on our episodes.
I'm just gonna play it on the overhead.
Right.
There you go.
Okay, so Batman.
We drop F-bombs from time to time, but
yeah. Okay, a return to the Beyond universe that will send a shock to your system. In the not-so-distant future, young hero Terry McGinnis patrols the streets of Neo-Gotham as Batman Beyond, while Virgil Hawkins, a.k.a. Static, forges a new technological revolution in Dakota City with the introduction of the Q-Wave energy grid. Together, along with the Justice League Beyond, the heroes prepare for the Earth's induction into the interplanetary alliance known as the Cooperative. Everything seems to be going smoothly until a new villain arrives on the scene and puts everything at risk. At the center of all the mayhem is the unlikely duo of Static and Batman Beyond, as they must work together to save the world before it is too late. Guys, this will be in stores November 12th.
The animated
from DC
Milestone.
DC Milestone, yeah.
Yep. Animated Static Shock show is good too. That was how I learned.
Well, and that's actually the original crossover between them was the Static Shock
TV show.
There was a Static Shock Batman Beyond crossover in the TV shows.
Yes, and then eventually there was an episode of Justice League Unlimited where Static and Batman Beyond were in that one too. So
okay,
yeah.
So you should even better than I do. Brownsville from Rodney Barnes and Elia Benetti. Sins of the past don't stay buried. They always find a way to rise from the grave. Enter a century-spanning tale of suspense and sorrow as true crime meets shocking terror inside an infamous asylum with a tortured past. Founded at the turn of the 20th century outside of Annapolis, Maryland, the Crownsville Hospital was notoriously neglected, an all-black psychiatric institute. After decades of overcrowding and neglect, alongside darker, more persistent rumors of patient abuse and illegal medical experiments, it was finally closed. Today it stands condemned, a crumbling testament to a legacy of all too real terror inflicted on a marginalized and vulnerable community. But even as a ruin of its former self, Crownsville still casts a long shadow. When the unexplained death inside the abandoned hospital is ruled a suicide, Annapolis Police Detective Mike Sims and journalist Paul Blair are compelled to dig deeper, only to discover the reality of the horrors that once took place there and the powerful connection they share to the anguished spirits of the dead that are still locked within its walls. This is from Oni Press and in stores November 12th.
Yeah, that sounds pretty great. Alrighty, and next up is, oh, that's not me. Oh wait, yes, it
Who's
is me.
that?
That is me. Okay, we've got Galactic #1 from Kurt Piers and Amilcar Pina from Distillery. And I don't, Tab, would you mind scrolling down just a tiny bit there?
I suppose you didn't memorize the
Thank you.
text.
I'm working on it. New Distillery series debut from Kurt Piers and Amilcar Pina. What if George Lucas and Quentin Tarantino fucked and had a baby? That baby would be Kurt Piers and Amilcar Pina's galactic and ultraviolet interstellar romance that tells the story of a roguish bounty hunter hired to bring back a princess on a death bender of a hippie planet and inadvertently find themselves caught in the crossfire of an intergalactic war. And maybe, just maybe, falling in love along the way. Did we mention there's a talking dog who pilots the starship? And that is going to be in stores November 26th from Distillery.
Speaking of talking dogs, my dog right here, if you guys can see my screen, my dog is so obsessed with me this morning. I've never seen her so needy. So this is different.
An adorable pug.
She
for
is
listeners.
For our listeners, she's got a cone on.
Yes.
She had surgery, and so her cone keeps hitting me in the face because she's on my lap.
I can hear her little snorts. Oh gosh, those are the little like angel toots. That's what they
angel toots. That's what they are. Okay, I got to put her down so I can read this. Okay, Liquidator #1. Okay, when Aubrey Street arrives in 1891, looking for a feminist masterpiece that won't be published for almost 100 years, she worries that 1981 might be rejecting her. Aubrey is a liquidator. Her job is to fix glitches in time. She just wishes she could fix the glitches in her life. In another part of Gilded Age New York, John Hawksmoor plans to kill a servant girl whose life has been turned upside down by the book she found in her employer's library. Somehow all their lives are connected. They just don't know it yet. This will be in stores again November 12th from Mad Cave. Oh, this is Peter Milligan and Peter Kowalski.
Yeah, that's awesome. This sounds good.
Yep, I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, I love Kowalski. He's great.
This one looks cool, Phil.
I think yes, this was me. All right, we have Ordained #1 of 3 from Robert Venditti, Trevor Hairsine, and covers from Jorge Fornes. There we go. To deliver brutal, no holds barred action crime comic that will leave you breathless. Father Royston Craig became a priest late in life, but he's determined to make up for lost time along with his regular duties in St. Louis Church. He also performs the prayers of the last rites to patients on their deathbeds at the nearby hospital. One day, he's called to give these sacraments by Cormac Byrne, whose doctors say won't last the night. Byrne, like many others, has turned to God only at the end. He hasn't been to church in decades. Father Roy is eager to hear his confession, but what starts as petty crime in a lifetime ago quickly becomes a horrifying litany of gangland violence and killings. Cormac Byrne is no ordinary man. He is, in fact, the head of the Irish Mafia. God offers forgiveness to all who truly repent, and Father Roy completes his task by absolving Byrne of his mortal sins, leaving the man to die in peace. Until the next morning, when Byrne makes miraculous medical recovery. No longer at death's door, Byrne is quick to return to his old ways. It's business as usual, and he's got loose ends to tie up. First thing, kill the priest, who now knows where all the bodies are buried. And the cover here is a bloody nose.
Phil,
priest.
you are a writer. I seriously stopped that at the most dramatic point, and you still finished the damn sentence.
Huh?
So you highlighted it, Chad?
I did.
Yeah, I highlighted it.
I
first
follow
things
punctuation.
First, kill the priest.
I follow punctuation.
I know.
I'm so sorry.
I follow punctuation.
Like,
I love it.
I set up.
You did.
I set up. First things first. killed the priest.
I will say, this is where
We already know why.
The show models baseball, not t-ball. A cautionary tale to teen me up. This is going to be in stores on November 5th from Bad Idea. It was a bad idea to let me read this.
All right, I threw you a meatball.
You did. You did. You threw me a meatball and I wanted garlic bread.
On to graphic novels, and I've read this one. It's fantastic. I love Kathy Malkasian's work in general. Shadows of the Sea. On the lonely road, meet two outcasts. Doris, a small but spitfire woman, and Stanwyck, a shy and sensitive dog. Each of the unlikely pair harbors grief and must decide whether to stay with the pain or run from it. On their journey, flush forest to the eerily abandoned town of Echoes, close to the Motor Sea, where they finally confront the unbearable trauma of their past. This is from Fantagraphics Books, on sale November 5th. Again, I love Kathy Malkasian's work. Thank you so much to Karen Green for introducing me to her way back in one of our, I think, first 10 or 12 interviews. So, who's got Socrates?
Socrates, that is me.
Oh, yeah, it's you. Sorry.
Yep, that's
Socrates.
okay.
Are we sure that's not Socrates?
Well, can't be too sure. It is definitely
I'm Ted Theodore Preston, and aren't you? Aren't you?
Well, I'm not quite a Bill. I'm just a Phil. But this is going to be Socrates from Francesco Barilli, and art from Alessandro Ronchiaschi. Athens, 399 BC, in what may be remembered as the first trial for crimes of opinion. Socrates is sentenced to death, accused of corrupting youth with atheistic doctrines. The philosopher's line of defense is uncompromising and defiant. He is thus sentenced to drink hemlock by an even larger majority of jurors, and once in prison, awaiting execution, he refuses to flee lest he violate those laws to which he has always been devoted. Socrates was not only one of the best known and most influential philosophers in human history, but also the first martyr for his own ideas. His trial tells how the greatest democracy of the time could have sentenced the best of its citizens to death. In stores November 12th from Mad Cave.
Oh,
I love
that's great.
Socrates.
Yeah. Sunder from Pierre Alexandre Comtois. When a mysterious book appears in the library of a young monk named Zeke, he must embark on a quest to find its rightful owner. Unbeknownst to him, another dark figure has been searching for this very book for a very long time, sending his minions across the known planets and using dark magic to find it at all costs. When this evil figure realizes the manuscript has finally resurfaced, it sets events in motion that will send Zeke on an adventure unlike anything he could have ever imagined, leading Zeke to discover his true identity and destiny. Guys, check this out on May 14th. What? May 14th, 25? What? Is
That's
that right?
weird. That's what it says.
Okay.
Is
Hmm.
there
All right. So I
another
think 20,
cider?
I'm going to guess 26, but this is going to come out, you guys, from
Oh, no. No. It's the hardcover is coming out now.
Oh, here we
yeah,
go.
November 12th. Okay, that'll be November 12th.
Okay.
All right, guys, that's from Mad Cave. So
So
again, that's Pierre
those of
Alexandre
you who missed the
Comtois.
trade paperback in May or love the trade paperback hardcover in November.
Okay.
All
Cool.
right. Next up is Gehenna Naked Aggression from Patrick Kindlon and art from Maurizio Rosenzweig. I'm so sorry. That can't be the right pronunciation, but there's a contract out.
Rosenzweig? That's probably
Rosenzweig.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a contract out on Gehenna, but she's managed to stay alive long enough. The contract has been resold several times as repackaged debt between criminal organizations. Now she intends to put a stop to the chain of custody on that debt with a bullet. This is going to be in stores November 12th from Image Comics. Ted, I'm pretty sure you said you
I've read
enjoyed this one.
I've read the first couple of issues and I'm loving it.
Nice, yeah.
Loving it.
Yeah, the art looks stellar.
Okay, Golden Rage Volume 2. Mother Knows Best from Chrissy Williams and Lauren Knight. In a world where old and infertile women are deemed useless to society and abandoned on an island, Golden Rage documents their golden years of making friends, baking dessert, and fighting to death. Mother Knows Best builds on the first Golden Rage volume for a glorious new adventure. This is going to be in shops November 5th from Image.
Yeah, and we are also in talks. First of all, go back and listen to our conversation with Chrissy Williams and Laura Knight. We're in talks to have them and maybe Sophie and Becca join us again ahead of the trade paperback for a nice spoilery conversation.
Ooh, that
Lovers
sounds
and Haters, a Love and Rockets book from Gilbert Hernandez, the first story collection of Hilbert Hernandez's Palomar saga to take place after the events of 2010's High Soft Lifts. It is torn from the pages of Love and Rockets New Stories, Love and Rockets Volume 4, and Psychodrama Illustrated and expanded with 14 new pages. And Lovers and Haters, 50-year-old cult movie actress Fritz, in addition to her alcoholism and the ups and downs of her career, must also contend with a controlling lover, Danny, a jealous rival, Mila, a score of younger Fritz imitators, a sex cult, and mad scientists. Also in her orbit is her niece, Killer, sometimes literally, as seen in a Doctor Who inspired TV show. A teen actress trying to launch a singing career while solving math problems, the specter of Fritz's mother, Maria, also a cult movie actress, haunts them all with her beauty from beyond the grave. With a sprawling cast, Lovers and Haters is about mothers and daughters, aunts and nieces, complex and often toxic relationships, artists and exploiters, personas and obsessions. It reads like an X-rated The Substance mixed with Mommy, Dearest, and Performance with an added dash of Giallo. In stores on November 12th. I love me some Beto.
yeah, Beto's great.
Beto is yeah, I love.
He's my favorite Hernandez.
I haven't gotten to talk to Jaime as much, so he's my favorite Hernandez right now because I've enjoyed talking to him. If
Nice.
I'm being honest, I probably give like the slight edge to Jaime in terms of like their body of work,
Mm.
but it's like really slight. I love them both so much.
It's funny. I
And
haven't read much of Love and Rockets, but I've read
For
a
shame,
handful of yeah, I know it's a big gap
for
for me.
shame.
I've read a handful of Gilbert's non-Love and Rockets comics, and I've enjoyed all of them. They're so weird and so wonderful.
Yeah, yeah. I reread the book that he did with Darwin Cook recently.
Yeah, that one was
Twilight
good.
Children.
Twilight
Yeah,
Children.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, um, final order cutoff. We've got Captain Henry and the Graveyard of Time from Mike Mignola and Bruce Zick coming to stores on October 22nd. Death to Pachuco #1 from Henry Barajas and Rachel Merrill from Image Comics on October 8th. Ephemerata Shaping the Exquisite Nature of Grief from Carol Tyler coming, and Fantagraphics coming on October 22nd. Sometime soon you'll be able to listen to me talk to Carol Tyler for a couple of hours. That was a lot of fun. Um, High Strangeness #1 from Chris Condon, Daniel Noah, and Dave Chisholm from Spectre Vision and Oni Press on October 8th. My Life in 24 frames per second from Rintaro at Abrams on October 8th. Nocturnos from Laura Perez at Fantagraphics on October 8th. That's another one that I've read and is fantastic. Realpolitik from Nathan Gilgood at Drawn and Quarterly on November 5th. Save Now #1 from Matt Kint and Tomas Giarello at Bad Idea on October 15th, and Temporal #1 from Stephanie Williams and Isaiah Fulmore at Mad Cave on October 8th. Only crowdfunding that I've got on the list right now is Funeral from,
It's Funeral Home.
is it Funeral Home?
It is
Okay.
Funeral Home.
mhm, mhm.
Funeral Home from Michelle Abinader and Fellhound on Kickstarter through September 22nd. And they are coming up on our airwaves soon.
I need to make that interview. I think they both followed me back on Blue Sky, so I definitely need to make that one.
Yeah, no, Michelle and Phil are both fantastic. It will be Michelle's second 22 panels appearance and Phil's third.
Ooh,
I am big fans of theirs.
nice.
Tyler, what did you love this week?
Uh, well, there's a new character out, you guys. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's got a new number one. This is Batman. Uh,
What?
this Matt Fraction book and Jorge Jimenez is so good. I loved it. I like the Batman costume a lot. It's simple. I don't know. Do you guys like it?
I
I didn't
did.
pick
In
it up, but
fact, let
Okay.
me
Well, I'll get through my books and then we'll
yeah, keep going. But I may have
Santos.
written specifically how much I liked it somewhere. So
Okay.
yeah, go ahead.
Santos Sisters number 9 from Greg and Fake Petri. American Nature put that was really good. I love Santos Sisters. I was telling
Yeah.
some guys at Rainbow that they needed to get on this and start ordering it because it's just so funny. Um, and then it's Jeff and other Marvel Tales. Now, Tales is Tails. Number 1 from Kelly Thompson and Guri Hiro. Writing also by Nao Fuji, and then art by Alyssa Wong and Bob Quinn from Marvel. So it was really good.
All right.
Yeah,
It's
this
not just good, it's Jeff.
it's not just good, it's Jeff. It's
So many people know that
it's better than bad, it's good.
that once I have connections with artists, I sometimes will drop them notes on how wonderful their things are. And
Yeah.
we talked to Kelly Sue recently, so I dropped a longish note on how much FML is amazing because among other
Oh yeah.
things, she wrote a really nice note to me in the letters page, and like it made me swoon
That's
in
great.
love. So
And it
like I
was
had
in
to,
it's in issue 6, right?
yeah,
Hmm.
Because
it's
I
in the
picked
new
it up.
issue,
I picked it
right?
up because you had mentioned that, and
And
so I haven't
so
looked for it yet, but I'm gonna read it.
so in my PS to her, I said that Matt, your Bat book was okay too. And that but then my PPS was okay equals, and this is now in all caps. Holy Grolix, Batman. I didn't realize how much I needed a superhero comic with a beginning, middle, and end all in one issue. May this be the opening volley of the revolution.
There we go.
Yeah, yeah. I loved it. I thought this Batman
It
story
was
was
so
really
good.
good. Yeah. Um,
I mean,
and I haven't read Batman regularly, but I'm gonna read this series.
you know me. I try hard not to have Batman on my pull list. The
Yeah,
first time I
same.
ever had Batman on my pull list
That's
was
funny.
Tom King, and I dumped it the second he left, even though I knew Tynion's run was going to be great. And it's like, no, because if I stay for Tynion's run, I'll stay for the run after that, and I'll stay for the run after that, and blah blah blah.
Hmm.
So I dumped it hard, and I'm like, I'll get back to it and trade. Like, just too many Bat books come out, too many of the miniseries I want to read too. Like, I don't want a quarter of my reading every month to be Batman. I really don't want a quarter of my spending every month to be Batman. I go out of my way not to have Batman on my pull list.
DC would love for that amount of Batman spending.
And then Chip Zdarsky wrote Batman, and I had to jump back on. And I am one of the few that managed to jump off before Hutch 2.
Well
I
done,
haven't
sir.
read Hush 2 yet.
I
Now that it's done, I will go read it. I'm excited to read it, but like
I
I
liked
jumped
it.
off.
I
I
liked it.
didn't go monthly. I jumped off for Hush 2.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to jump on for Fraction as much as I love Fraction until he crashed Word Balloon when they were talking to Mike Avon Oming and Mike Bendis about or Brian Michael Bendis about Powers 25. Fraction crashed, and they wound up getting on to Batman, and he talked about the fact that he was writing, he was trying to go old school, but he's not even going old school. He like this issue represents something that comics aspired to and has very rarely actually attained, which is a beginning, middle, and end all in one issue with a cliffhanger for the next issue and a sense of connectivity where reading all of them will give you a sense of purpose. But that does, it's, I mean, if it continues and it's his stated goal, you could skip 3 issues, read an issue, and still not feel like you didn't get a full experience.
Hmm.
And it's like, fuck, now I'm on board. And he knocked it out of the fucking park for issue 1. But it still wasn't as good as FML number 6, particularly since Kelly Sue wrote such a sweet note to me at the end.
I can see that I can see that being your
And
favorite because you're in it, you know.
yeah, and well, I mean, what really got me is that like it, it was directed at me, but also to all of the heroes that are teachers and librarians, you know. And something else I don't remember right now, but another profession that I adore that doesn't get enough credit. um, so yeah, Phil's picking up FML to go check
I
for
am.
me.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It
Um,
is librarians, teachers, and journalists. So
yeah,
yeah, good
exactly,
company. Good
exactly.
company.
And that was part of my letter back to her is like my heroes are librarians, teachers, and journalists too.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, that's like 1 and 2 with bullets. But then Tate Brombell and Jacob Phillips really knocked it out of the park with Everything Dead and Dying number 1. So that's my third pick of the week. And pretty certain Zdarsky did a good job on White House Robot Romance, but because of distillery stuff shifting from Diamonds to PRH, my comic shop is like not
Drop the ball.
it's well it's yeah not I don't want to blame him for dropping the ball, but like he hasn't realized that he needed to reorder some stuff because
Mm.
like I'm one of a couple of people he's got getting distilleries, so it's not like it's one of those, oh god, I gotta go make certain I he's got it in the system is ordered, and then it's like, oh fuck, it's not ordered because
Mhm.
um
Because
and
Diamond's too busy getting sued
well,
and
but
carved up for parts.
and this is what ticked me off because distillery, even though they're like $9 books, I
Hmm.
buy like half of them physically, and I buy all of them digitally.
Hmm.
So distillery is consistently be getting $18 for most of their books from me, and $9 at least for everything they put out because they have Neon Ichiban coming. White House
Hmm.
Robot Romance isn't available digitally until Neon Ichiban
Oh
launches. So I
no.
was not able to read.
Uh,
It could
Um,
not take that third spot, even though I got a text message because I'm on one of Kelly Sue's text groups.
hmm.
I got a text message from the House of Diffraction to point out Batman number 1, FML number 6, and Uncle Chip's book. I couldn't read Uncle Chip's book because I couldn't buy the digital copy, even though I have been a loyal digital distributor, distillery customer from day one.
how do you really feel? Oh
Frustrating.
man, funny. Uh,
But I'm glad that Everything Dead and Dying did sound really good. I'm gonna have to read
Yeah,
that
it
at
was
some
really
point.
good.
Yeah,
Well,
and Jacob
I
Phillips is
love
great.
Jacob Phillips
Oh.
is I mean, I have like 10 artists that are like my top 5 artists, but he's one of them.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, he's so good. Um, yeah. Did you I'm sorry, I didn't mean to steal a base with this walk. Yeah, I didn't know if you were done or not.
No, no, no.
Okay.
I was done.
In that case, I also enjoyed FML number 6. I was actually really heartened to see your letter in the back because I'm like, oh, this makes for a great excuse of oh, this was my first physical issue of FML, and it's a
Well,
great
what I also actually loved that like in terms of making me swoon,
mhm.
like her letter back to me referenced like 3 different letters to her written over
Wow.
like almost 4 years.
That's great.
Are you
That's so
serious?
cool. That's
You
Yeah.
had them,
incredible.
and she knew it was you.
Because the first, I mean, because she called out Kelly. She called out my
Mhm.
Kelly, and she called out my Kelly as a fellow pod or true crime
Artist?
podcast person.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I the first time I reached out to Kelly Sue was when we had Hillary Fitzgerald Campbell on
Yep.
for Murder Book to see if she wanted to join us for that in a letter that included that information. So like either
He's put
she's
it.
ridiculously organized and or Denise is, which is also possible.
Is that her assistant? And
Yeah.
okay.
Or like I've occupied at least a small corner of her consciousness on and off for quite a long
It
time.
wouldn't surprise me if she went back in her emails and looked for Tad,
It's always possible.
and then goes, "Oh, he's written me before," and then
Right,
read
right,
those.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
Uh,
But that's
you
even
know,
still having that level of dedication to detail
right.
is it's
Yeah,
wonderful. Um,
yeah.
Speaking of dedication to detail, the one shot closer from Kieran Gillen, Steve Lieber, Tamara Bonvillain, Clayton Cowles, and Tom Rogers as on artists from Image. Read that this morning. That was a good time.
I haven't actually read it together yet. I read it as chapters.
Oh, okay, yeah,
It's in
yeah.
the Image
I knew that, but
anthology.
right. And here's the thing: I had to read it on Hoopla because I forgot to ask my comic shop for it. But I'm glad it was on Hoopla on the same day because it was very good. And
Right.
then just because this is the last time we're going to be talking about Greg Rucka's Lazarus for the immediate future, I just wanted to recommend a couple
Till the
other
next issue comes out.
yeah,
And
exactly,
that's not
until
at
like issue
all
5 or
why
6.
you're that it is
No. It's
whatever,
I'm saying
Phil.
I'm saying that Lazarus is great, but you should read more of Greg's books too. Black
I
Magic,
agree.
Volume 1 through 3, Nicholas Scott. That honestly, as great as Nicholas Scott's art is, I feel like her art on this series is her best work.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, it's so good.
Oh yeah.
And then a little mini series from Dark Horse with Greg and Tony Fazula called Veil that was it's not available on Comics. I didn't find it on Global Comics or Hoopla, but it was really good. Super unique art. Um, Mysterious story, sort of a magical demon girl with no consciousness, or not no consciousness, but no memories. It was really good. It was really interesting. I enjoyed it quite a bit back in the day. So if you can find that one, definitely pick it up.
nice.
Okay.
Oh man, piece one, piece three.
Absolutely. Neither one of us read much this week.
You read a chapter. I read none. For
It's almost
our
like
listen,
you're opening a new store or something.
yeah, and not only that, Phil, you read my text. I've been gone
Uh-huh.
for a few days doing my continuing ed, and I'm so backed up, you guys. It
You
not not like that, but I'm backed up
I
on
was
all
I
my
was about to
stuff.
say,
You
You're
don't want
gonna
to see
see who
that.
the you're gonna see who the mystery guest is because I want your reaction because most of Great Responsibility uh this episode is gonna tell me I'm recording first. There we
All
go.
right.
This is one of our weird recordings of 22 panels because this is actually going to be a drop in our 200th episode. So I have with me Greg Rucka and waiting in the waiting room, though he did just text me that his top three choices for who this is one, Greg Rucka, two, Matt Fraction, three, Grant Morrison. So Phil nailed it. But we're gonna let Phil in and see how he responds when he looks up
You
and
you you
sees who
weren't
he's hanging out with.
you weren't gonna get Matt. He's doing Rose City right now, and I don't know where Grant is these days.
Yeah, no,
So
I
you know,
know. Yeah, no, Grant's never responded. I had Kelly Sue, and I know Matt's a big Cubs fan, so I have like hopes
huge
that
Cubs
Matt
fan.
will come talk Pete Crow Armstrong with me. Um, but let's let Phil in and see what his response is, and then maybe Tyler will show up and we'll talk a little bit. And this is the 200th episode's great responsibility section of the podcast to be dropped in to tomorrow morning's recording. So welcoming Phil. He's
Hi,
got
Phil.
himself on mute.
What, am I muted?
Not
Not
anymore.
anymore.
All right, off. Hello.
Hello. Surprise.
We
Surprise! Oh,
can't
yeah.
see you, Phil. You surprised. You
Can't
did
see me.
guess. You
I
guessed very well.
it was a calculated maneuver. But yeah, you know what the big tip away was when you said that both you and Tyler will be okay. And I'm like, all right, what do both Tyler and I read regularly or have been reading regularly? It'd be Lazarus. What was I reading right before this, leading up to, getting ready for tomorrow's episode?
And
So,
that's literally how it all came about, Phil. When you texted me that we were going to get caught up on Lazarus for our 200th episode, I went, well, I was going to wait until deeper into the new run to reach out to Greg Rucka, but it's the 200th episode. I need to reach out to him now. And he was
yeah.
kind enough, and we managed to make it work, even though he got his dream job and got busy again. So,
Oh, wow.
hey, Greg.
I'll come back. I'll come back. It doesn't have to be a one-time thing. And
Good.
there are, what just came out? 3 just dropped. So
Yes.
at least 17 more issues with which to make you all miserable to varying degrees. So
No, see, I think I wrote this to you in a separate letter, but in a weird way, it makes me less miserable because it's like, oh, I can see the whole field now. I don't like the whole field, but I can see it.
I
I can
will
see it. I
say
feel a little bit more ready for it.
there's we just put 4 to bed. I think it was 4. I think we just put 4 to bed. I'm sort of addled, but the last thing I do in prepping the issues, once we've got all the lettering proofed and everything, is I'll write the back matter. And we've had some letters coming in, and there was this one letter I think it's going to print in 4, where this guy was basically like, I love the series and I was waiting and it kept not coming out. And, and he goes on to say that as he began to despair, he imagined what the ending would be. And then said, and then I read like these first 2 issues and I can't do it anymore. It's like, this is so
Wow.
clearly not what I imagined. And I have to leave because it seems clear that you're not going to give them a happy ending. And,
Oh,
I looked at this email and I was like, I mean, okay, I'm not going to, what am I going to say? Too bad. You go do what you need to do, write your fanfic. And that's fair. I mean, I'm not, that's not pejorative. But it's also not over, dude. It's like you're 2 issues in.
Give it time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and let me tell you, it's gonna get worse before it gets better because that's how stories work.
Mhm.
So, I have seen. Let's see, Michael's turned in pages through 9. He's almost done with issue 9.
wow.
And there's some stuff in there, and my God, I mean, his art is just so spectacular and heartbreaking. And there's some serious emotional stuff. But yeah, for everything that turns one way in the story, some of it turns another. And there was some response to, I think, there was some immediate response to like Casey and Johanna's interaction in issue 3, and being like, "Whoa, what's going on with Casey?" And I'm like, guys, wait till issue 5. I mean, it's like you ain't seen nothing yet. But and it's interesting from an authorial point of view, right? Because I've always known who these people were. Right. I've always known, that Jonah was gonna start. Are we profanity safe?
Oh yeah.
Check it. All right. I always knew
definitely.
that Jonah was going to start as an absolute shitheel, and then learn empathy, and that would change him fundamentally. And by the same token, Johanna was going to start as this very broken, young, not even young, broken old woman, and and very much an arrested personality. And once she thought she had what she wanted, would see her complicity in the flaws, like her empathy would awaken as well, right? So, there's stuff coming that I know people are going to throw shit at me for. Um, but then there's stuff coming that I think people will want to send me flowers for. So we'll see. It is going
I
to be
mean,
the story it always was. So
all I ask is for at least a satisfying ending. I've resolved myself to the idea that that doesn't mean happy.
Mm. I, I will say,
but
I will say, I mean, and we're living in a world of incredibly complex problems, and it is becoming more and more evident to me that the only way out of this is through, and that
right,
the result of through will only be what is next, not how do we go back, because we can't go back.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
right.
it's gone. It's
Way too long.
mute.
Way too late to go back. Yeah.
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 So, the question is how do you fix a broken world? And in the world of Lazarus, unfortunately, there is not I made a wish and it all came true. But I have, I'm going to name drop because I'm really proud of this. Okay.
Go for it.
I got a job a couple of years ago working with Neil Stevenson and Nicole
Oh,
Gallen. And I was doing an adaptation of their novel, The Rise and Fall of Dodo. And at one
great
point,
book.
I loved it, and unfortunately, nothing ever came of it. But they were
Right.
wonderful to work with, and I had a conversation with them at one point about the fact that I had gotten to this place more and more where I felt, and I'm complicit in this, that dystopian fiction had really been incredibly damaging and was lazy in a lot of ways. That it was very easy to write dark and grim and it's all bad and it's never going to get better stories. And part of what we needed to do in art was to write stories that not necessarily had happy endings, but at least proposed solutions and that at least
Right.
saw a way through these darkness times. And it was
Right.
very reassuring to have Neil Stevenson, who is a fairly intense individual, was sitting opposite me at this table and look at me and go, "Yes." And I was like, "Okay, I'm on the right track. Okay." And then we share this. That's good. So, can't
I'm
you're
quite jealous, and if you want to bring him along anytime, I will happily talk to Neil Stevenson about
Oh my God, man.
it.
I wish he and Nikki and I had gotten that close. And in another universe where this
Yeah.
show happened, we would have. But
Right.
yeah, not this
Right.
time around. So
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah. No, no, I can't even count the number of times I've read Cryptonomicon at this point. And like he was
Yeah.
what, 20 years ahead of the curve?
Yeah. Yeah. He's been
You
paying
know.
attention.
Yeah, that was, I mean, in our reread, probably the most startling ahead of the curve that I saw in Lazarus was back in 2013, saying that, oh, at this point in post year X, social media is flooded with disinformation and propaganda. And I looked up and I was like, well, that was 3 years before Pizzagate, which to me was like a watershed of like, okay, that's when the unreal bullshit from the internet was, unmistakably making its mark in the world.
Mhm.
And it's one of those things where, I mean, you know, that was a footnote to a book that I read in 2013 when it came out, and like imagining the significance of that one line to our world today is just heartbreaking.
Yeah. I still maintain social media is probably the thing that is like it has been the most effective weapon in the murder of civilized society. Um, and
I like that you
and
called it an effective weapon rather than blaming it itself. That's a very different thing, and I
I mean,
appreciate it.
I, 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 in the main, I hate all social media, right?
Hmm.
Right.
but
No, I get that.
but it is in its use, right? When it is used for when it is at its best, it creates community, it provides support, it provides information that is crucially needed, in real time. Um, the problem is now it's balkanized and controlled almost universally, with very few exceptions, by very bad actors, like
Hmm.
people who
Right.
are leg- like with malice aforethought
Yeah.
using it to do harm. And it's terrifying,
It
and
is. I just the teacher in me and the hypercritical thinker in me just appreciates the fact that you delineated between social media and its users and acknowledge that it can be used for good because I see so many people who seem to go, "Oh, we get rid of social media and everything will be better." And I'm like, "No."
no, I mean, my biggest, of the many things that keep me up at night, I don't know how we reinstate truth
Mm.
as something of merit, and at least a baseline understanding that we need it, right? Like the truth has absolutely become optional. It's
Hmm.
just it literally doesn't matter. We are living in a world of, are you going to believe me or your own lying eyes? And
Hmm.
apparently, everybody's eyes are lying. And now our eyes actually are lying
Hmm.
because we're seeing things that we don't know if they're real or not.
Yeah.
Um, it's grotesque, and something has gone like that. It's gone ass over tea kettle when the NRA is saying, no, 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 you can't take trans people's guns, right? It's like,
Yeah.
you lost the NRA, right? Like, and then you go back. I was thinking about this. There's this great, you ever see, I forget the name of the show. I want to say it was like Alpha House. It was the Gary Trudeau show on
I
Amazon
remember
years
that.
ago about the senators, right?
With right,
Goodman.
yeah, Alpha House.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I remember being shocked. There's the episode where Goodman's down in his district, and he's being filmed, and it's done as a very candid promo. But he's out on the beach and he talks about what's happened in the Republican Party. He talks about that the Republicans used to be the party of the EPA. They used to be the party of the environment.
Hmm.
And I remember sitting there and going, really? And checking, and being like, "No, you didn't make it up. You didn't make it up."
No,
We are so
no.
in the weeds now. It's gone.
We had, or I had, I hate it when I forget names. Um, he ran for governor in Montana. Da, 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 da.
Okay, well, I'm not helping on that one either. So,
No, no, no. There was God, Ryan Bussey,
so
who was a he was a gun industry executive for years, who essentially was left the gun industry when they went off the rails with automatic weapons, when they went off the rails supporting the Republican Party, despite the fact that like he's a hunter and he's like all of these beautiful places that they want to destroy. How are we in favor of that? Sure, they'll let you have an AK-47. What do you need an AK-47 for? They're going to make it so you can't hunt because there's no place to hunt.
Mhm.
Oh.
I've written a new in my pre-comics career. I was a novelist, and I had a
I've read
series
some of them.
about I found somebody who has. Uh, and I had a series about
Well,
this bodyguard.
I started with the Queen and Country ones. I
That makes
started with the
sense.
Queen and Country ones.
Yeah, before the QNC novels, there was a series about this guy named
Atticus Kodiak?
Atticus. Yeah, and the Kodiak
That is code,
novels.
right?
Yeah, Atticus starts as a as a bodyguard in layman's terms, and over the course of the series, ends up going to the opposite side of that coin, and ends up learning how to kill people very, very well. And then, like the last one came out in like 2010, and I had sort of thought, set it down. I'm done here. Like that's as close to a happily ever after as he's gonna get. He's kind of married. He has a child. He's adopted this other child effectively. And then in 2016, I started going, huh. I sort of had ideas bouncing around. Um, and last year, I started writing, things sort of coalesced, and I started writing this new one. And I finished it, and it's looking for a publisher, and I'm hoping to put it out in the world. And I'm very proud of it. I think it's a very good novel,
Good.
but it is literally Atticus and Elena and their daughters 12 years later. I fudged the calendar a little bit. And in it, he's got a bit where he is um, explaining to his youngest daughter, who at some one point picks up a pistol, right? And he is like, don't. And then there's a section in the novel where he's basically saying, this is how you hold it. This is how you check to see if it's safe. This is what you do. But he ends by saying, these are very treacherous tools, and you have to respect them at all times. And these in particular exist for one reason and one reason only. These weapons exist to kill people. That's the only purpose of a pistol. All other purpose is secondary. They are designed to take the life of another human being. And that is different from a rifle and a shotgun, right? Pistols are made to carry around so you can shoot somebody with them. And so they can't see you coming.
Yeah.
So, but we're not talking about Lazarus. You want to talk about Lazarus? Like,
Well, we're talking about whatever. I actually did want to ask one question because I like I mentioned up at the top, this all came together because we were finishing our reread of everything but the last three issues for this weekend. So I was reading issue 7 of
Risen,
Lazarus Fallen.
No,
Risen.
Risen.
That's right.
Risen.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Now
it's
we're
okay.
fallen.
Yeah.
This is
Now we're
Risen.
fallen. We were Lazarus, then Risen. Now we're fallen.
Right.
So,
right. And the one thing that struck me that it made me wonder, like I know you had lots of the series planned out, but like Malcolm's speech at the end, reminding everybody of what the world was like before we did all this shit and how it was already gone. Was that something that was there from the beginning, or was that a reaction to where we were at? Because I mean, that was being written during the pandemic, wasn't it?
that issue came out in 22, and I remember it came out in 22 because I was in Rome. I was stuck in a hotel room in Rome because they were filming The Old Guard 2, and that was a miserable experience. But we'll talk about that separately. And so it had been written
some other time.
Yeah, but that speech would have been written about 2 years prior. So if you look at that, what's 2 years prior? It's the end of Trump 1.
Right.
Malcolm's motivation has always been the same throughout. Like Malcolm has stayed true to purpose. So there was always a version of that speech I don't think it would have been quite so angry without the 2016 to 2020 window.
Right.
But it's odd and it's funny. I think a lot of I was surprised more people. I mean, maybe it's just because nobody was reading the book at that point because it had been a year between issues. But I was surprised that more people hadn't actually sort of clocked and talked about what Malcolm is saying. The problem with Malcolm is you don't trust him. He
I mean, I
presents.
know a couple of us did because I did, and I immediately emailed Joe Illidge. And we were both like,
I mean, Malcolm is a chess player, and I think it's that same issue, right? Where Joe says, where Malcolm gets angry, he says, I'm not omniscient and stop, and I'm getting
right.
so tired of it. I just know how to play the game. And Joe calls
And
him and
Joe
he says,
tells him,
yeah,
but
you
you also
load the
stack the
dice.
deck. Right.
Yeah,
Right. You
you
load the
cheat.
dice.
and both are true, right? But that is not to be mistaken as Malcolm being inherently duplicitous. Like, if Malcolm is a genius, it's that he set out this very long range plan that he knew he wouldn't be able to control certain variables in, but he could control other variables in. And he has attempted to shepherd it all along. The big problem he's dealing with right now is that he's having to improvise because what Forever has done. I mean, this is sort of spoilery. I don't know if I should say it. But suffice to say, what Forever did,
They've
he
had,
did not.
what, 3 years to read this book?
Yeah, well, I mean, or 2 weeks now, 1 week since issue 3 came out. What Forever did at the end of Risen, he did not expect to happen then.
Right.
And the reason it happened earlier, because he knew, right? He knows that he knows that rebellion's built in, right? There's that wonderful bit, is it Temek in Andor season 1? He talks about freedom as a natural state, like there are spontaneous acts of rebellion all across the galaxy, even now. It's a great speech in Andor about just that tyranny is an unnatural state, and that the desire to. So he's not an idiot. He saw this. He saw the writing on the wall. He just didn't think it was going to be written that large then and there. And the other things he didn't account for, and there are 2 huge factors he did not account for. He didn't account for Joanna, and he doesn't. And as far as he knows, Jonah is dead.
Yeah.
So the Johanna miscalculation, and there's a line coming up. It's in an upcoming issue, and I really like it. This is me patting myself on the back. There's nothing worse than when a writer says, "I did a good job on something," but there's a scene at Sequoia.
Sure, there is. When a writer says something brilliant is not that good, which is so much more common.
I'm never ever going to call myself brilliant. At best, I'm good. Because I've seen some geniuses at work.
Yeah,
and
you're
I
one of
know
them, but that's okay.
No, I'm not. But that's something we can meet and discuss over whiskey at some point.
Okay.
There's a scene at Sequoia where Joe and Michael are they're basically kicked out of a room that Malcolm's in. He has effectively a temper tantrum. And he's like, everybody out. Did I stutter? I want everybody out, and send in Sergeant Solomon. So Casey goes in, and Michael and Joe are standing in the hall, and they're both like, well, I've never seen him like that before. And, yeah. And I forget what Michael says is the lead in, but Joe says, I mean, I appreciate it, sweetie, but despite the chassis, I'm old enough to be your grandmother. And Michael says, don't mistake, how's he put it? He says, but you're not. He says, your father arrested all of you guys emotionally, if not temporally. Don't mistake age, for maturity. And Joe has this moment. She says, I'm going to need a few minutes with that, and Michael says, you take all the time you need. But I do like that insight, that
Yeah.
that Michael at 24 now or 25 is able to look at her and be like, yeah, I know you're in your 70s, but you're not. You're my age, lady.
You haven't had to live. Yeah,
Yeah.
you haven't had to live. You've had to live for like the last 4 years. I had to like hack it in Montana.
Yeah. Well, and that's exactly it, right? She has had to live. And there's a bit in Risen where, Sari is out there with Lewis and they're taking the footage of the attack in San Diego. And they do the zoom in, and you see that Joe's crying. And she's crying, she's crying specifically. The lead into that is her demanding the casualty numbers. And the numbers she's given, she says, those aren't the numbers I want. What are the waste numbers? And they can't give them to her. They can only, we think it's
They don't even know.
10,000.
Right.
Right. And that's not the Joanna you meet in the first 4 issues of the series. That is that is a woman whose experience has changed, and her experience, unlike Michael's, which is personal, right? Michael's experience changes through his personal hardship, through literally being tortured, literally being a prisoner, metaphorically dying and being born again, finding a family that genuinely accepts and loves him, finding love, being able to create a life, and in the sense that then that life is destroyed by the games that the families play, and in that sense being radicalized. It's personal. With Joe, her experience is her empathy comes from responsibility, right? I am now responsible for the family, meaning I'm responsible for the domain, meaning I'm responsible for all of these people and everybody in it. And the second she does that, right, she went, because she could have stopped there. She could have stayed, it's only about me and the people who serve me. But exposure to forever makes it so she cannot not see them. And then she meets Michael, who is nothing but the walking, talking empathy lesson, right? Who can connect with forever in a way that Johanna can't. And yeah, like this creates a change. It creates a change in her that allows her to, I will do what I promised you. And I want to make things better. Joe's problem is she's trying to make things better within the system, and you can't. Right? You can't. You're not going to be able to.
That fucked.
Yeah. And
this is where we were just saying earlier in terms of we can't go back.
Yes.
And I find myself having this argument with a lot of people where they're like, "Oh, we just need to beat Trump," and I'm like, "Yeah, but like." We have to understand the flaws in the system that brought us here, because if we don't find ways to fix them, we're coming right back.
but it's not even that, right? Like this drives me crazy. I mean, it freaking drives me crazy. And thank God for Prisker, where you are right now. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I
got my COVID vaccine today.
Yeah, I've got to go to CVS and get mine. But the thing, this is the thing that's driving me crazy. The thing that's driving me crazy right now, of the many things that are driving me crazy right now, is the belief that there are going to be free and fair elections ever again in this country. There are not going to be. People are talking about, well, when the Democrats win the House, when the Democrats win the Senate, it's like that's not what's going to
I mean,
happen.
I think you could argue that the last two weren't even.
I
I mean, the
now
laws
we're
that got
now
changed after
I
2020.
no argument, right? I would go further and I would say I don't think Trump won. Um,
Mm.
right. I believe there is a
I mean, I
preponderance of
think he won
evidence.
based on the votes that were counted, but there's a massive amount of evidence that there was legal suppression that
So
would have more than made
I,
the difference.
I think there was illegal suppression. I think there was malfeasance, and and honestly, for a second, why would you think there wasn't? Looking at what they're doing now, like every single thing
Yeah,
Project
no,
2025 said they were going to do, they are doing, and we are 7
nothing,
months in. 9 months in now.
nothing at all will shock me about there having been illegality or whatnot, but I think they also did enough, quote unquote, legally
Mhm.
in Texas,
No,
in Georgia, in Wisconsin, etc.,
still keeps
to
flashing in
swing
and
the
then
election.
flashing out again. It's
Oh,
like,
that's funny. There was
I think
lightning.
we get to see Phil
oh,
only when there's
Yeah.
enough light behind him for us to see
it's
him.
and
He's
only
probably sitting
lightning.
outside in
There
the
we go. I
dark.
am sitting outside.
There he
Hey,
is.
I have
hey,
banished.
man,
Hey,
that's all right.
yeah,
It's
banished to
nice
the
to see
porch.
you.
Nice to see you too.
Your feed is better than Tad's.
A little bit.
I know. We got to get new internet again.
But, look, I mean,
I was gonna say
it
the
is
joys
what
of
it
T-Mobile.
is. I think
Yeah.
it's so broken now, and I think the real question is going to be: do people roll over when the elections are called off, or when they're nullified, or when they're suppressed this time around? Like,
Right. Right.
is that going to be when rubber hits the road? And
Yeah. I
I
mean, and
don't have a lot of faith.
I think it's because that's the thing is that it's absolutely right. It's one thing that I've been thinking so often throughout this year that yeah, this is only going to stop through active action of people doing things. It's not just going to go
Yeah.
away. It's not just going to get better through we can't vote our way out of this one.
Nope.
And I'm worried that it'll be another situation where people just don't even realize that anything was wrong.
Well, and
Yeah.
the media escape is broken.
Mhm.
Information is
Yep.
broken.
Yep.
How will
Yep.
people know? Right?
Yeah.
And it's these are scary damn times, and it is staggering. Like, I remember when Lazarus first dropped, and I think I wrote about this in the back of issue 1 of Fallen.
Mhm.
Brian Hibbs uh, posted,
San Francisco comic.
yeah, and very smart guy, and he and I get along very well. But he took some big swings at the book. He was like, this is polemic, this is straw man, and I was like, okay. And I kind of
Overall, I've never met Brian, but as much as I overall like him, he kind of lost me in terms of like the whatnot when he suggested that Raina Telgemeier should release her
mm,
books as issues
mhm.
rather than just million
Yeah.
selling graphic novels.
Sorry,
That would
I
be
mean,
better for her.
Costco doesn't have a spinner rack.
yeah, I mean, it's
Right.
like I understand wanting to get some of that traffic into your store. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
They sold what, a half, but I'm working on this show, and I was having to explain to somebody in the room today that, Batman #1 is going to sell about a 500,000 copies, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
If
Yeah.
any streamer puts out a show and only 500,000 people watch it, it is a catastrophic failure.
Yep.
Right? Like, the numbers do not
Right.
scale. They do not. It's you're
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
talking apples and oranges. So yeah, I mean, look, more people should read comics. Absolutely.
I agree. We're getting there.
Stores should be easier, Yeah, little by little. We'll see how long that lasts, right? Because the way shit is going,
Mm-hmm.
it, man, some of this, like people don't think about it. Some of this legislation means, oh no, no more superhero comics. They're sexually suggestive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about no Batwoman,
Mhm.
right? I'm not talking about no Galaxy. I'm not talking about the characters who are very clearly queer aligned or identified in some way, shape, or form. You know, this is a trans character, this is a gay man. I'm
Mm.
talking about the fact that Wonder Woman's running around in a bathing suit. Power Girl's got a window into her, you know. I mean, there's a great big hole in the center of that top. You know what I mean? Um,
Oh.
yeah, Superman's briefs are pretty tight. Um, Nicholas Scott is renowned for drawing an amazing Nightwing ass. You know what I mean?
I mean, what it'll be is all superheroes will start being grunge. They're gonna all wear cargo pants and
It's in
flannels.
flannel and yeah, and hoodies.
See,
Yeah.
and I think, well, I'm sure at the end of the day they'll find a way to selectively enforce whatever law to benefit white
Hmm.
supremacy at the end of the day, Because I mean
Yep.
it's
I mean, as long as the comic skaters get jobs again, they won't care how big the boobs are. I
gosh.
mean, that
Yeah,
was a
I mean
great
they're
look.
gonna.
It took you a second there.
Are
It was
you
such a
now? I feel like
deliberate
you're having to hold
response.
your phone over your head to keep the
I
light
do.
on.
Yeah, it's my well, I could, you know.
You don't let give your arms a rest, dude. I feel bad, Phil.
No, no.
Don't.
I'll
It's
return to the
okay.
darkness.
I know you're there. It's good that we know
Excellent.
you're there.
I can
So
prove
So
finally that I'm
I
not
need
one
to
of Cat's
ask.
cats.
Yeah, I need to ask just a random question because I was flipping, like I said, I was rereading the final issues, and you plugged his book at the end of 7. Did you know the first time Spencer Ackerman wrote in that you were getting a letter from a Pulitzer Prize winner, or was it just a
I'm
letter
trying.
from some guy named Spencer?
I
Because
think
you
it was a
printed
letter from
two of his
some.
letters early on.
Yeah, it was just some guy named Spencer. I had no idea who Spencer Ackerman was. Spencer Ackerman, who was on Chris Hayes today, I believe. Um,
Yeah,
so I am pleased to say he and I now correspond fairly regularly. Um,
me too. He's been on
he
22
gave,
panels twice.
he is so fucking smart.
Oh
I
my God, I
mean,
love him. Yeah.
have you had Dennis Camp yet?
Yes. I had Dennis Camp before everybody knew who Dennis Camp was. And I
Bless
haven't
you.
managed to get him back since then.
Uh, I did
No,
not.
Ram V told me to have Dennis Camp on like
Ram
before,
Wood.
yeah, but before the 20th
21st Century Man.
Century Men, 21st Century Men,
Yeah,
yeah. So I had him on while he was doing the thing at Aftershock and something else. And I read
yeah.
all of his back and I loved it. I love
Yeah.
Dennis's.
Dennis.
Yeah.
Um, so uh, I had Lazarus is of significance. Whoop, and I got a text from my daughter. That's why it came through. Um, my youngest in New York. She is wishing me Shabbat Shalom. So um,
That's nice of her.
when I send blessings to the girls on Shabbat, so she acknowledged. This is her
Right.
acknowledging that she got it. Um, Lazarus marks when Lazarus was the book that um, pulled me out of a really, really dark period in my life. When I left DC in 2009, as I've talked about before, I was incredibly depressed. Like I was in severe depression and was not treating it. I was not healthy. It led to suicidal thoughts. It led to like 4 really bad years. But Lazarus comes out of that. Like Lazarus is the start of the climb out. Really, it's the work that I was doing that was like. But because of that period, the sort of 2009 to 2013 period, I could not. I discovered I couldn't go into comic book stores anymore. I was having panic attacks just being in a comic book store. It was that bad. And the result of that was I stopped reading a lot of books, right? This was a thing that
Right.
had caused me so much pain I wasn't still engaging in. And as I have begun to work back from it, right, I keep going like, oh, this person's really good. What do you mean they've been around for 10 years?
Right.
So discovering Dennis at the beginning of this year was like, holy shit,
Right.
this guy's amazing.
Yeah.
That's been one of the treats in the industry, and what Kelly's doing with Absolute Wonder Woman as well, which I totally did not. I should have seen
Oh
coming,
my
and I
God.
think I
Kelly
posted it.
Thompson.
Yeah,
And you know what? That's still my fourth favorite book of hers over the last couple of years. Because
fair.
I love Black Cloak.
Uh-huh.
Jeff just makes me laugh over and over. And it's really, really close between Birds of Prey and Absolute Wonder Woman. But the things that she's done with Barda and Birds of Prey, just again, the Barda Cassandra Cain like
Yeah,
twosome just
That
puts it just barely over that edge.
yeah, it does sing. Look, I mean, I've got, these are the tattoos, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So there's Forever and 8, and that's Nicholas Diana, and they're
Mhm.
on bracers for
Right.
God's sakes. So,
Mhm.
Right.
like Wonder Woman is always going to hold an incredibly special place for me. So I view interactions with the character and interpretations of the character through a very selfish, I admit, critical eye. And the first blush of Absolute was like, oh, she's going to have a big sword again. Eye roll, right? And then it's like, I really should have known better. I really should have known better.
You
Like,
should
of
know.
all the things it could have been, I shouldn't have been looking at the art. I should have been looking at who was writing it. You know what I mean? But it's a visual medium. What can I say? I have called the mea
Yeah,
culpa.
Kelly's amazing.
So
Kelly's amazing.
I was just gonna say I really enjoyed your rebirth run on Wonder Woman.
thank you.
I read that one. That was good.
Very good.
I liked it a lot. Yeah.
I'm very proud of that run.
Yeah. It was. It's also. I mean, I'm just thinking. I had a lot of thoughts over what you were just saying, trying to lead them back to the key points. But like, I'm
Yeah.
someone who used to read a lot of superhero stuff, and now I can't remember the
Yeah.
last superhero book I read. Or at least
Yeah.
Marvel DC.
Yeah.
Like I'll still read other stuff. And like I can only imagine.
Well, I can give you a list that you need to read, Phil.
I know there's plenty, and that's the thing is
And
I know there's plenty
you
of good
know
ones.
that I don't read a ton of superhero stuff either.
I know. It's just it was literally came down to a financial decision of like there was an event coming up and I
Right.
was like, all right, I could either spend 3 times as much as my current comics budget is on this or read the indie series that the same people are doing. I'm just going to
Yeah.
read the 3 indie series the same people are doing. And never really look back and but I can only imagine.
And all the trades will be there for you, Phil, when you're ready.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
you will be able to do it. So
And at the
Yeah.
same time,
Yeah.
so the couple quick things. One, I wanted to say that because I just read a comment in one of the letters columns, and you talked about earlier of the length of time the series has been running, and I mean it's one of those where one of the things I've been saying lately is that all of the best comics have hit delays, and I think that in my mind, I would rather. I mean, like they don't anger infuriate me. They don't bother me at all. It's one of those where I'm like, hey, the book's so fucking good. You know what you're doing. Like, and yes, it was. I was one of the few people that when you put out an issue a year, it was on that day that it came out. I still remember, breathlessly reading Risen 7. Of like this is so good. I'm gonna need to reread this at a real pace. But like, tearing through it.
Yeah, I think I'd read. I
Um,
And
think
that's
I'd read
great.
Risen 7 twice by noon,
yeah,
and I was teaching.
Yeah.
and I guess you mentioned Nicola earlier. Is Black Magic? I loved that one. I hope
Yeah.
I hope to see it again.
So, she and I are doing a DC book right now, right? Cheetah and
Hmm.
Cheshire robbed the Justice League. Second issue came out this week.
Hmm.
The
And it's
one that
us
I
doing,
always make them laugh because I always read it is Cheetah and Cheshire Rob, the Justice
yes.
League.
Yeah, Cheetah and Cheshire Rob. Um, but which apparently like nobody's picking up, which is a pity because it's way too much fun. Part of the reason we're doing
Okay, you
it
sold me.
is
I'll go get them.
look, it's Ocean's 11 in the DCU.
It does
Okay.
Like
sound like it'd be a good time.
that's my pitch. It's Ocean's 11 in the
I
DCU.
was trade waiting, but you convinced me.
So yeah, there's a whole other thing there. But Nick was drawing Black Magic 17, which was going to be a return issue.
Mhm.
And Rob Levin at DC had reached out and as I think I talked about in the newsletter, had done the editorial thing of going, I'm going to put a seed in your ear and then I'm going to walk away and come back a week later and see what grew. Um, and what grew was this book. And at almost the same time, Nicola had reached out and she was almost done with 17, but she said, look, I'm going to have to step away from this because I need a paying gig.
Mhm.
I've got to get some money in the bank. So, I'm sorry. And I said, well, funnily enough, I'm going to do this book for DC. Would you want to draw it? And she was like, well, hell yeah. So, in theory, depending on the variables of life, once she is done with issue 6 of Cheetah and Cheshire, she should be free to go back to Black Magic. And then our plan had been to just, power through the rest of the story because we're literally halfway through.
Oh, okay.
Um, and wanting to complete it. I can't guarantee when that'll be in the same way
Mhm.
that, Cully Hamner's
Yeah.
been drawing a book that he and I started in 2018.
Wow.
And I don't know when that's going to come out, man. I would love it if it came out soon. The art is spectacular. It's some of the best work Cully's ever done, but life happens.
Yeah.
Things get in the way. And these things get delayed, and then like I get asked about the old guard, like when are you going to do the third one? And that's a little harder because for the old guard, for the I know what the third arc is,
Yeah.
but the experience of making the second movie was so painful and bruising. I
Mhm.
kind of don't want anything to do with it right now. Like, and
That's
now
that's
I feel
tough.
like
Yeah.
I can talk about it honestly because the movie's been out a couple months. It's over. It's done with.
Hmm.
That's not the movie I wrote. It's not the
Mm.
movie I wrote
I saw there
at
was
all.
a rewrite or there was another script credit on there. So yeah. So that
Yeah,
was I hadn't seen it yet. I probably will at some point.
there are some good
But yeah.
beats in it. There's some genuine emotion in it, but it's not the story I wanted to tell. It's not the movie I wanted to write. And that's not the movie they made. So, and there were a lot of things that went into it. So
Oh yeah.
that's not on any one person. I
Right.
And
can't
see
point and say this person or this,
and just
Right.
because of the nature of that, that's why I'd rather wait than read a comic like that, a comic that
Mhm.
wasn't, hey, everyone on the team loves and is excited by this and put their whole heart and soul into it. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
just like,
Well, and that's also one of the advantages of the comic medium is there's a few less cooks in the kitchen.
mhm,
Mhm. It's
Um,
a, it's a it's a tighter collaboration. Like I know that Leo, if I were to email him tonight and say, I've got the first script coming in a week, he'd be like,
mhm,
fantastic. He wants to do it. It's
mhm.
not him. It's not Alejandro. It's not Donnie. It's not Jody. Everybody's aboard for it. It's just me being like, and I'm not sure I want to go back in there right now. I've got other things I got to write. I mean,
That's fair.
I've got to get all my notes together and write the script for 10 to get to Michael, so it'll be ready
Yep.
when he's ready to start. Um, so you
There we
know,
go.
there's
If
stuff that's got to be done.
And
So
this mystery TV gig
yeah,
that
I
has you
can't.
in an Airbnb in LA.
whatever
Yeah,
it
it's
is, we're excited for
yeah.
it.
I will say it has been a blast so far. The room is great. I'm working with one guy who I've actually known for years because of Lazarus.
Oh, okay.
Um, and like everybody on this side of it, terrific. Um, we still don't know if we've actually going to be making the show or not. So the next couple weeks are gonna be sort of
Oh yeah,
that's when we're going to know if checks will be written and if we
yeah.
get to go from these are the these are the arcs, these are the characters, these are the broad movements to now let's break episodes and start writing.
Mhm.
Um, and when that happens, I expect I'll be able to talk about what I'm doing. But part of it is also I don't there's a there are some people out there who send you their resumes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like literally when the first Old Guard movie came out, like 2 days before, I got an email from somebody claiming that I had stolen the idea from his father, who
Wow.
had written a novel about an undying knight of the Crusades, right?
Goodness.
And
Did
and
he also rip into Spielberg and Lucas for Last Crusade? I mean,
or Highlander
Yeah.
or any number of like
Yeah.
I am not you can't nobody can copyright immortality as a character trait, and you can't copyright the Crusades, and you can't, you know what I mean? It's
The
like
church tried.
nice. Well, one could argue that's what they were doing,
Yeah.
but
Oh.
but yeah, I remember getting that. It was a very sincere, and cease and desist. And, I immediately forwarded it to my attorney, and she immediately forwarded it to Netflix, and Netflix measures their attorneys in metric tonnage,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
and so they unleashed, maybe 4 metric tons of attorney, but
Yeah.
you
Goodness.
know, just on the
I
basis
mean,
of
let's be
of
fair. They probably only have released half a metric ton for that guy.
So
it's
yeah,
true.
so at least in the portion of that world that I know of, one
Yeah.
data point can only generate up to 16 mail pieces. So
Yes. So, well, and I think this is it, right? You get yeah, I've gotten just in comics feel I have a Wonder Woman script. Can you look at it? And it's like, no, I can't.
yeah,
No,
I I,
no,
I
no,
can't.
no, no. I
I
can't. I
100
can't. I see
100%.
the word
Yeah,
war room
yeah,
and I gotta go.
yeah.
yeah. And
It's
it's
yeah.
I'm sorry, and maybe I should like offer an online class at some point so people can, I will teach what I can teach. I'm happy to do that. I enjoy teaching when I've had the opportunities to do it. But so, and again, talking about like audience differential, biggest selling comic book, 500,000,
Mhm.
TV show, 12 million minimum or whatnot. How many
Mhm.
people are going to come out of the woodwork and go, oh, you're working on this? Well, I would be great for this. Or have you thought about this? Or I have a great story idea. Or, and
Mhm.
it's like, I can't, guys, I can't do it.
Yeah.
So
No,
part of
I don't
it's
want you to tell me.
defense. It-
And I also know
Part of,
the NDAs. I mean,
yes.
I became friends with Chris Cantwell through this
Oh, yeah.
podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like I've seen him through I think 3 different writers' rooms now, 2 of
Yeah.
which didn't go anywhere. A writer's
Dang.
Yeah.
strike.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So we will see.
it's a weird, and for that matter, a book that I keep recommending because I think it doesn't get read by the people who would enjoy it the most. Tom Hanks' novel, The Making
Mhm.
of the Next Motion Picture Masterpiece. I read it
right.
because my friend Bob Sikoriak did the comics for it because it's got like
Uh-huh.
24 pages of comics in it. But I was really impressed with like because it essentially starts out with the premise that, like, look, any movie that gets made is a fucking miracle.
It is. It absolutely, having been on the ground for the process, you come out of any, I think, filmmaking process not going. You will no longer go to a movie and go, how could they make such a bad movie? You will go, how did they manage to make the movie?
Right.
Right? Like it is such a, I mean, it's such an insane endeavor.
Yeah.
Like when you think about it, it's crazy. The whole process is crazy.
Yeah.
Right. Um, and yet they are, and these stories are magical. We keep coming back to them. We thrive on them. One of the best things that happened this summer was Superman. Oh my
Oh my
God.
God.
Yeah, it was good.
So good.
It was good.
I had 2.5 hours where I was happy. I left,
Yeah,
I
me
left
too. Me too.
inspired and
I keep
hopeful.
thinking about actually paying, because it's now available for sale at like $30 for a digital copy, and I normally won't pay that much, but it's like,
Yeah.
I want to watch it again. I don't know if I want to go to a theater again.
I would
want the
suggest a
physical,
DVD.
I want the physical media. That's what I
Yeah.
want. I want.
Yeah, but that one's not coming for many more months.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll wait. I'll wait to
Right.
own it. I had that experience recently. My eldest daughter has been convalescing from surgery in late June, and she's doing really well. But she has been watching she's catching up on a lot of media, and she watched I think it's My Own Private Idaho, and then came to my wife and was like, this was great. And Jen was like, "Oh, you should watch Henry V." Right? Now Henry V is Branagh's Henry V is one of my favorite movies. This tells
So
you
good.
exactly how pretentious I was. I used to finish a novel, and then and invariably I'd finish a novel at somewhere between 3 and 5 in the morning, and I would pour myself a very large glass of whiskey, and I would put on the Branagh Henry V. That would be how I knew I had finished, right? Just because I enjoyed it, and to me it was always and you will never ever be this good. You were just like, good job, you finished the work, and you're never going to be Shakespeare. And I know for a fact, I bought it on iTunes at some point. And it's not in our library anymore.
Yep.
They pulled it.
Yeah.
They pulled it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
I'm really pissed about that.
Yep.
It's like, I had a digital copy. Now I have a DVD of it, but Jen had to literally tear apart the house to find the damn thing. So
this is why I don't get rid of my DVDs, and they're still organized. I don't get rid of my CDs, and they're still organized.
And this is why I'm kicking myself for having gotten rid of the records I did get rid of when I got rid of them. And
I never got rid of records either.
Yeah.
I have trouble getting rid of books. The one of the reasons I've started going digital on more things, though, even though I'm worried about what you're talking about, is like my wife tells me there's only so much room in the house.
Yes, I've heard that one too. If you're getting them digitally, just make sure that you are backing them up separately. Like if you're getting shit on Kindle, jailbreak the Kindle. Jailbreak that Kindle, because we are, and this goes back to, hey, here we are again, back where we started. We are very, very close to.
We're in a rental society.
Not only that, you bought that book. We don't want you reading that book. That book's gone.
Yeah.
You bought that book.
Or
we
let's
don't like
edit
what
that
book
book.
says. We're going to edit that book and change things.
Yeah, I like that worse.
So there is one book that gets edited every few years that I like the edit. And that's Ray Bradbury's Martian Tales, or the Martian Chronicles.
Martian Chronicles.
Every edition changes the dates, so it's still in the future.
Yeah. Which makes sense.
Ready for a Bible joke of some sort.
Yeah. Uh,
Um, well, Greg, we should probably let you go. We both have
well,
to get up and record the rest of this episode tomorrow morning. It has
look,
been a blast.
it's my absolute pleasure. You got any last parting shots? Any last questions? I feel like I did so much talking, and
That's
we didn't
okay.
actually talk much about Lazarus. So,
That's all right. Phil, any last
Uh,
parting questions?
I mean, my party and Lazarus question is just six question mark. Because
yes,
that stood out to me in the reread. Um,
yeah.
if we can see that, that'd be great. That's this list,
Your questions will be answered.
Yes. Thank you. That's all. That's
Uh,
all.
uh, all questions will be answered.
Excellent.
Um, and in point of fact, sooner than you might think. So
That's also exciting because I was not expecting the cuttlefish in the most recent one. That was a great turn.
that had been there. Yeah, man, I was planning that from the start with
That's so
Infinity.
cool. I love that.
We
Oh,
spent so much time on that effect, and then when Santi got it, he nailed it. Just the
hmm
smearing when she's in motion was
yeah.
really, mwah. It was like,
Oh,
no, 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 she's not invisible. She's
yeah.
camouflaged.
Literally, when I
Uh,
when I was reading that point in bed, I had to take my phone flashlight and be like, "Is this a print error? Is what I think happening? This is
yeah,
my
yeah.
goodness. I did not expect this."
I also, you got to say, kudos for Infinity for being like, oh, I'm gonna have to get naked.
Yep.
Like immediately, she's like, okay, this is a tactical advantage that I cannot take advantage of unless I'm naked.
Yep.
And her willingness to then go into a sword fight naked, right?
Yeah.
Tells you
Yeah.
everything you need to know about the girl. She's a little bit of 10 pounds of crazy in a 5 pound bag.
I love
Yeah.
it. Yeah. I
Yeah.
love the personality differences. They're so well done.
She is so much healthier than Forever.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
had she had somebody find her and love her and support her and say, I understand your pain, you're not alone, and did
hmm
it at the right time, and poor
Yeah.
Right.
Forever, she didn't have anything, you
hmm
know, just this propaganda she'd been fed. So
Yeah.
look, it's been a delight. I would love to come
Yeah.
back. So
We will
please.
definitely arrange something.
Awesome.
So
Uh,
I can't actually end the episode because we're going to go back to three books we hope will be spectacular. So I won't give the tagline. I'm just going to stop the
all right.
recording and then we'll talk to Greg for a minute before we leave.
Okay.
All right.
So,
There we go. For clarification, while yes, that order of guesses was the order I'd love to talk to those people in. It was guesses, not choices. Just to, you don't think I'm like, oh yeah, Ted,
yeah.
just here's the menu of people
No, no,
with
no, no. I
all
knew they
kinds
were
of.
guesses. I knew they were guesses. So
Awesome.
yeah, Tyler.
It was great. It was so
Greg
fun.
sends his regards, and that's our great responsibility. You get to decide how you splice it in. I'll send you the recording now. I hadn't yet. Um, so now, I mean, we should let you talk Lazarus a little bit, and I'm going to let Phil talk about like what he thought of Greg Rucka before we wrap this up with what we think will be spectacular.
Okay. Well, we are talking about Lazarus Risen 5 through 7. That pretty much brings us up to
It
date.
does.
Yeah, with the new Fallen line that's out. So this is really exciting to be able to like catch up, right? Because we started this, a couple months ago, and I was so I don't know, slow with like catching on to what was happening. Getting a sense of the world was initially tough for me. Um, I and maybe it's because I haven't read a lot of Greg Rucka in the past. And so not knowing his style and stuff like that. But so it took a little bit, but I have really come to love it. And now reading this let me get it out here. Um this line of Risen, right? 5 through 7. I don't know.
Right.
I think this was the best so far. What do you
It
guys?
Oh yeah.
it
I mean,
was killer.
it's so good. It's so good. Yeah, like I even
This
mentioned
is
then,
definitely the crescendo.
absolutely. I mean, well, that's the thing. That's part of why I'm so fucking excited for Fallen right now.
Mhm.
In the sense that this is a book that, a lot of people save their years in the making, plot points for like end of arc stuff. Issue 3, something totally bonkers and unbelievable happens that is just like I said, I literally thought, is this actually happening in this book right now? And just the even with number 7, where it was one of those things where I read that issue and there was so much happening in Risen number 7 that like I had forgotten that Bethany died until the
Yes.
beginning, until Lazarus 1 came out again. I'm like, oh wait, she died.
Yeah.
It was like, holy fuck,
Because
getting see.
you didn't reread Risen before Fallen, right?
No, so that's the other thing is now I'm like, okay, I'm trying to because I did a fast reread of these issues of Risen, so I want to kind of sit down and do a more thorough one, especially because I'm realizing now some of the conversations in the most recent issue, at the time, it was conversations between Joanna and Michael, and I was like, oh, that must be referencing something that I didn't see or forgot about or whatnot. And now looking back, it's like, oh no, I need to reread a lot to pick up all this context. Like it's one of the things I've been thinking of on this is that this book I think is so great to be reading serialized as it comes out because there's so much going on, and long running characters and long running plot points circle back around, and the world is a beast and a half to carry in your head. And because of that, I think it's I feel like I personally get a lot out of it from thinking about this book between issues that isn't something that you've had the chance to do as much, reading it through and then eventually hitting that binge point.
Correct.
um
Yeah.
yeah,
When
and it's
when I got into it, you guys know this, I texted you
mhm,
along the way. Then I binged it,
mhm, mhm,
and
Right.
then I've gone back to it like a little bit to browse it before we talk.
mhm.
And I really should just go back and just absorb it again before we
It's
get
yeah,
into talking about Fallen or Risen. We just read
fallen.
Fallen
Yeah,
more
Fallen.
extensively. Do you
yeah.
know what I
I
mean?
figure we'll do it trade by trade.
Yeah.
Yep.
We actually have a
Yep.
monstrous trade that'll come before that. That's
Yep.
right
That'd be
around the
cool.
corner.
Oh, monstrous. Right, right, right. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. Let me know.
So you're either going to need to get yourself seriously caught up, Phil, or you're going to be
Mhm.
lost.
Yeah. No,
Or
I'll do
just,
it.
yeah, it's good.
And yeah.
They are all on Hoopla, and I think most of them
Yes,
are on Google Comics.
they
So
are
I would
indeed.
recommend starting to read Monstrous now
Yeah.
because it's a deeper read and you're 9 trades
Right.
behind.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I
But
know
it's
I
really
know
fucking
my
good.
yeah, it is good. It is good.
Yeah.
And I have the advantage of having read at least a little bit of it. So hopefully that
Right.
read we're because next
Right.
we're doing Grendel,
Yep.
which Rucka has
Though
actually written some Grendel.
yeah, though honestly, we could. I mean, because what we kind of do with things that we've already done is when they have their new stuff come out, we kind
Mhm.
of drop it in. So
Oh,
probably not the weekend after it comes out, but
mm,
the week
Soon.
after that will
mhm,
Yeah.
be um when we do. And actually, let me actually go get a date on that
mhm,
because
mhm.
I know that it's around the corner.
And while you're looking at that, I'll just say that talking to Greg was great. This I
It
actually
was fun.
yeah, yeah. I mean, for me it's extra special because he's someone that I've been following his career for so long now,
Uh,
and been on this ride and a bunch of his other books. And when I got the issues of Lazarus signed from him in Chicago C2E2 back in 20, yeah, that would have been C2E2 2017, I want to say. That yeah, he was really kind then, and talking to him now, he was absolutely kind. And it's always great when you get to meet someone that you admire and look up to, and they are legitimately a really nice, really cool person.
Yeah.
It's just it's a good
He
feeling.
seemed to really enjoy our company. He
Yeah.
was really, really open and honest about a lot of things that a lot of people
Yep.
would be less willing to talk about. And
Yeah.
I can't wait to talk to him more.
Heck yeah.
I'm crossing my fingers that it becomes another one that we can call friend of the podcast sooner rather than later.
That would be so cool. The
It
two things
definitely kind of felt like that.
I hope so.
Um,
The two things I wanted to say but forgot to is that one of his other books, Stumptown, is my mom's favorite comic, at least last time that I
Yeah,
talked to her.
I
It was.
actually meant to ask him what he thought of the TV show on that because that's another one of his
Yeah,
Hollywood. I mean, I met we got off track, but when he was
we did.
talking about how things had gone so wrong with Old Guard 2, I
Uh-huh.
wanted to talk about other adaptations, and I
Right.
forgot because there was too
Yeah,
much good stuff to talk about.
exactly.
I
And
like
So,
then
I liked Old Guard. What happened with Old Guard 2? I don't remember.
he just said
well,
it wasn't the movie he
he didn't
wanted to
like
make.
slam it, but he said it wasn't a great experience for him,
Oh,
Hmm.
and
okay.
the movie that came out wasn't the movie that he wrote.
Yeah,
No, it wasn't.
yeah. Which I haven't
So.
seen it yet, but the first one was good. The first one was really good, and I
Yeah,
showed it
yeah.
to
Well,
my
and
in-laws, and they liked it.
he had nicer things to say about the first one.
Yeah.
But he also like it was nice to get that confirmation when I brought up the Tom Hanks book, which I still actually,
Mhm.
I can't recommend it enough, and not just for Bob Skoriak's, either Hanks is a good writer or he's got a great ghostwriter and he works closely with them because there's so much of it that you have to be
He is a good
somebody
writer.
who
Like his
yeah,
novel,
you
he
have to
wrote.
be somebody who's done. I'm talking about his most recent novel.
Okay.
There's so much of that book that like you would have to be on sets a ton to
Mhm.
fully grasp.
Uh-huh.
But it was cool to have somebody else acknowledge the like, no, I no longer go, how did this bad movie happen? It's like, how
Yeah.
does any movie happen?
Right.
Yeah. No,
Goodness.
with Tom Hanks, we got his book in at the library when it came out, and I perused it up and down because I was convinced there was a ghostwriter on it.
Mm.
I did everything I could to find information, and I think it's Tom Hanks
I
himself.
think it
So
is too, but again, even if there is a ghost and or heavy editorial influence, he definitely knows how to tell a story. Because
Mhm.
again, too much of that, he would have to be, he would almost have to be providing the bones for.
Mm.
So I don't want to automatically take anything away from Tom Hanks. More, I want to like bring out that like this is not your typical celebrity novel. This is a really fucking good book that like,
Oh.
and I'm not saying that there aren't good celebrity
No.
novels,
I was just I was laughing at the phrase celebrity novel because most of them do like autobiography or nonfiction in some
Memoirs.
way. Yeah, stuff like that. So
kids books now,
yeah, that too. Yeah,
lots of
that's a big
celebrity
one.
kids books.
Absolutely. So it's I would love to find a list of celebrity novels. I think that'd be an
I
interesting
think
list to
I think it's a
compile.
longer list than you expect, but a
Yeah,
lot of them aren't good, and a lot of them are like
exactly.
adaptations of their movies. And
Have either of you read Bill Clinton's books
No,
with the
no,
spy writer? What's his name?
no.
James
Anyway,
Patterson.
James Patterson. Thank you.
God.
Uh,
But that would be a similar thing where
Yeah.
Clinton is giving specific insight and
Mhm.
Patterson's doing the writing.
correct. Yep.
Patterson might be then farming it out
You
to
know,
somebody as well, but you never know.
right?
But
I mean, Patterson absolutely is a franchise as much
yeah,
as a writer at this point. So
it's hard to
he's
pump
a
out like
team of
10 books a year.
And make
right.
them good.
On the flip side,
I mean,
I mean,
his
Phil, you're a writer, and
Hmm.
like obviously you want to have stuff with your name on it and whatnot. But if you got
Hmm.
offered a decent paycheck to be involved in something and you got to hone your craft and it could be on your resume,
Yeah, yeah.
I
No.
mean, for the most
It's
part, you don't you, like when you're sending in manuscripts, people are going to
mhm.
go, oh, this is the one that ghosted that book.
Yeah,
Publishers are
exactly.
going to know.
Right. It's one of those sorts of things. And that's I guess it's one of those things where it's like I'm sure it's well, I hope it's good work for the people who get it.
Right.
But yeah, it is one of those things that I recognize that I am so interested in the creative process that when I see like two writers, especially two writers that don't like regularly work together, they're not like a
Right.
pair, what that process is like and who does what. And honestly, that process is what, or hearing about and learning about that process is what made me a fan of Matt Fraction because I picked up Iron Fist by him and Brubaker thinking,
Right.
oh, I like Brubaker. I love this Iron Fist. Okay. And then hearing, oh no, that Brubaker was kind of like just the sounding board, and it was mostly Fraction. I was like, well, damn, I have to reevaluate Matt Fraction now because that's how much
Right.
I loved Iron Fist.
Right.
So yeah,
And then came Hawkeye, and
yeah. Oof. I mean, Iron Man was first. Iron Man was in there. Iron Man, he was pumping out great work
yeah,
on Iron Man
but
for a
but
while. Hawkeye is
but
head and shoulders. It's stellar. It's so good. Yeah.
Hawkeye stands in a very rarefied air for superhero comics.
Best
Ty
pet issue ever.
yeah,
I don't know if
Pete's
it
dog.
can be topped.
Yeah. Tyler, did you see I dropped a link for Managed Comics into the chat?
Okay, no, I did
That's
not.
actually the point of sale system that Challengers uses.
Okay, I'm looking right now. I
So
wonder how
you
much
should
it
at
is a
least pull
month.
that up to
I
look
mean,
at
is it a
it.
subscription kind of thing?
I don't remember exactly how it works, but
Okay, cool.
they've had good experience. They were one of the first people, and like a lot of it got built because of their requests. If you dig back into their podcasts, there have been episodes where the CEO of Managed Comics has
Wow.
like guested on their podcast, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Um, and I think they've been mostly happy. I
Okay.
mean, it's hard to have a perfect for everybody solution.
Hmm.
But you got to build bookshelves. I got a washing machine repairman coming in a little bit, and got to get ready for Andy Hartzell at noon. So why don't we talk about what we hope will be spectacular in what's going to be close to a 3 hour 200th episode, because we've gone almost 2 hours and you've got an hour to tack into it. Um,
Dad, I will tell you, your timing of getting this secret interview done last night to put it in our 200th episode was amazing timing.
Yeah.
oh, if,
Applause. Applause to you.
from the get-go, that was part of my pitch to Greg, was we're going to be, from the get-go, I've been like, I really want to talk to the whole team, but I
Mhm.
also want to do something that can be dumped into our 200th episode.
Okay.
So we wound up going an hour. I was like, if we'd gotten 15 minutes, I would have been happy.
Oh yeah.
Right. Um, Last night, I mean, and Phil may have noticed, I didn't come prepared to do deep dives that I often do, because it's like I knew that like what I want is drop it into episode 200. Like it's kind of like it's the second time I pulled this off, because the week after we did the 50th issue of Love and Rockets, the end of volume one, I actually got Beto to show up during our normally scheduled um Love and Rockets book club time.
Wow.
So they came prepared to talk about something else, and
Wow.
there was Beto.
That's amazing. That's
uh
incredible.
so like, I mean, but part of that is like I'm not the only one that thinks that that's cool. So like when you pitch that sort of thing, people are like, "Oh yeah, I'll do something extra for that." You know. Um so yeah. But things I know are spectacular. Hero Trade Project Chimera #2. Spectators from Brian K. Vaughan and Nico Henriken. I actually want to honestly ask, do we want to put off um
Grendel.
Randall Week to do a deep dive into Spectators?
Sure.
Yeah, I could. I mean, I could read that if it's on. I'm sure it's on. Well, it'll be next week as
Well,
long as it hits.
and if it's not, I was a member of his,
Oh,
or
okay.
am a member of his Substack, so I
Uh-huh.
have the PDF. I've read it
Okay.
2 or 3 times already.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I like
Let's
So
do
Ballroom.
it.
let's do that
I
for
love
next week.
Baron Cave on, so
Okay.
let's do it.
It's kind of a different book,
Mhm.
and I've been waiting to have people to really
You're
talk to me
telling me
about.
the guy who wrote Saga, the guy who wrote Why the Last Man, is writing kind of a different book? Come on.
Well, I meant a different book for Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah. From
And
the
yes, a different book from everything else too, but a different book for Brian.
because Brian's books are different. Let's
That's
just be
Mhm.
true.
honest.
That's true.
Yeah.
Um, Also out next week, Powers 25, #1. I am so psyched. So psyched. Free Planet #5 from Avi Citizen and Jed Doherty. Phil, you'd love this book. This
Yeah.
Spencer Ackerman got me hooked on this.
Okay.
Uh,
I will add it to my radar.
and I'm the first trade's coming up. I think an issue or two might already be on Global Comics. I don't know if it's coming out on Comixology, but yeah, definitely keep it on your radar. This is your kind of book,
All right.
which is what Spencer told me, and he was right.
Nice.
Um, and then don't forget your briefcase #3, Elliot Ray Hall and Philip Sevi. So Tyler, you need to be setting up an Elliot Ray Hall signing at your store anyway. So when are you going to
Mhm.
bring him to the show? Because you
When
talked to him like
I
3 times on Smash and Grab, and somehow he has never been on 22 panels.
well, that is okay. This is the absolute truth. That is just pure laziness on my part.
Well, I'm glad there's no sordid tale behind it.
No, that's all it is like every time we talk about it, we leave, I go leave this room and boom, it's out of my head. But yeah, I have him right here. What's his new book? Where is it?
Don't forget your briefcase.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, this has been
I'm
fantastic.
doing it right now.
All right. Well,
Elliot.
first tell us
Can you
what
guys
you are
see my
hoping will be
screen?
spectacular.
It says Elliot.
Oh,
Nice,
Elliot
nice,
Ray
nice,
Hall.
nice.
Okay,
But
I'm
you
doing
haven't
it.
actually finished filling in your
No, this morning I got distracted. You guys, my life's just terrible.
you're
yeah.
telling me you're
And
still excited for Batman?
I'm trying to figure out which Batman you were about to put down there.
I think
I'm
that
look.
might is that last week's?
What's
No,
that?
because Exceptional 13 is this week, and
Okay,
Ultimate
okay,
Wolverine #9 is this week.
okay.
Dark Patterns. Gotcha.
I've heard that. I've heard that one's really good. I heard that one's
It's
really freaking good. So I need to. I
been
need to.
fantastic. Dan
Yeah.
Waters, Hayden Sherman.
Number 10. Yeah, from Dan Waters. Okay. Actually, my #1 for next week is Exceptional X-Men. I think it's actually 14. I think I wrote the number down wrong. But
No, I
um
think I got 13 down too, and
you
I
do. Okay.
copied from like the solicits.
Okay.
So
And then who else is with Hayden Sherman? Okay. And then
yeah,
my next pick, you guys, is like you just said, was Batman Dark Patterns, number 10 from Hayden Sherman and Dan Waters. It is I really like it. I like these separate Batman stories outside of, the main continuity. They're more fun for me,
well, and these have been
Uh
like actual mysteries. I've
yeah.
been reading them as I read the first 3. I need to read the next 3, and now the
Yeah.
next 3. So I'm 6 behind because I decided
This
that
is
I
the
wanted to
start.
read
This
them
is
in.
this
This is the start of the last mystery. Yeah.
correct. Yep. And then Ultimate Wolverine, this is number 9, Chris Condon and Alessandro Capuccio from Marvel. This is so good. Wolverine is the Winter Soldier.
Our boy Chris is just ruling the world lately.
Hmm. Yeah,
Everything he turns to or everything he touches is gold.
yeah.
Nice,
Cool.
yeah.
So those were my picks for next week, guys.
There you go. And so my trade waiting graphic novel pick, all new giant size of the week, is Copra Round 8 Death of Copra from Miko Fife. Image Comics. I've only read like the first 4 trades of Copra.
That's
And
about where I am.
yeah,
I need to
it's
catch up
good.
before I plan to catch up
Yeah.
before CXC because he's going to
Okay.
be in Columbus. So
Nice.
I've got like 2 weeks to catch up, but it's
Heck
my
yeah.
my my I feel like it's my duty
Hmm.
to catch up before meeting him in Columbus.
There you go.
Uh,
And I mean,
so,
and here's the thing is that if that meeting in Columbus transitions to a great or an interview of some sort, then that'll convince me to catch up.
yep, there we
Because
go.
it's a good book. It's really good, and I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
it's.
oh yeah.
I hope that
Well, and
this ending is one that he's proud of and have been working towards and all
I'm
that.
actually really looking forward. He's doing a panel essentially on
Hmm.
how he does it, and I've heard that like it came out of him challenging himself to work at Kirby speed.
Ooh,
So I'm really curious to hear him talk about like
oh yeah,
the book itself.
yeah.
So
The roughness but kinetic energy behind
right,
the art is just so captivating.
right. He certainly um emphasizes uh, uh action and acting over polish.
Hmm.
And yeah, everything is in the interest of telling a good story, and like once that's been accomplished, it feels like he doesn't feel like he needs to like smooth the edges or polish it.
No,
It's
the older I get, the more I love that quickness. The there's something about over polished comic art that sometimes can take me out of it, where it looks too still and I can't get the images to sort of
right,
move in my mind.
right.
So,
That's how I feel about God. Who did Kingdom Come? What's his name? Big famous
Alex
artist,
Ross.
Alex Ross. That's how I feel about Alex. Right?
yeah,
I love his artwork, but it works as fine art for me, and not so much as
uh-huh.
storytelling.
Yeah, I liked Justice more than Kingdom Come personally.
Yeah.
I
That one was
liked
fun.
Marvels, but that's
Marvels is good
partially
too.
because it was set up as a photographer. It
Oh yeah.
played into that, and I liked Fantastic Four Full Circle, but
Okay.
he didn't use the same style for that.
Mm,
He
interesting.
wasn't as painterly, he used a more traditional comic style to tell that story.
Okay, I'll have to look at
Um,
that one.
yeah.
Okay,
So,
guys. I would like to prove to you. Text
Yes.
message has been sent to Mr.
all
Rahal.
right,
Boom.
Elliot.
Okay. So Elliot has been contacted. He
And if he doesn't
will.
believe that we're excited to hear him, you can just clip that from the episode and send it to him. Me going, all right,
Elliot.
Elliot.
That was funny.
Because I
Funny,
literally
funny.
haven't reached out to him only because I'm sitting there going, how weird would it be for me to say, I know that you trade texts with my co-host Tyler, but he's a bum and he hasn't texted you yet. Would you like to come on 22 panels? He might show up.
He might be there. The last time I talked to Elliot, we were talking about his Hot Lunch Special comic.
Right.
Mm.
I don't know if you guys read that, but it was really
Yeah,
good.
I was the one that recommended it to you.
Were you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that was really good. I loved it. Hot Lunch
I mean,
Special
I,
was so
I know
good.
they're not online anymore, but if you still have hard copies of Smash and Grab comics, I brought it up in
In the one you talked on. Okay.
Right, because it was set in Sioux Falls.
Yeah, it was set in Sioux Falls. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a unique take on a horror comic about lunch.
Right.
Funny. All right, guys.
Uh,
Thanks for listening. This has been fun. This is episode
Episode
200.
200.
We had some laughs, some tears, some revelations. It's been great.
And like we've been going for an hour, an hour 40, and you've got an hour 4 to drop into the middle of it, and
Okay.
yeah, so this will be the 3 hour 200th episode spectacular.
We'll be like
Yeah.
2 more years before episode 300, so we got to make it count.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true. Hey,
Cool, guys.
actually, here's my quick my like over under.
Yeah.
When we get to episode 300, like
Hmm.
right now, we've got what? Um, how many total episodes do we have recorded right now?
Oh
Maybe
goodness.
maybe 600 and some.
I know it's over. So it's like 640 at least.
Yeah,
Um,
it's in the 600s, but as far as exact number, yeah, you're in our account right now. Let's see here.
It's like two,
yeah.
or it's
Uh,
692, I think.
is it that high
Okay.
now?
I think so. Well, I'm going off of a rough estimate. So the Apple podcast says see all 684, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more. So that's, yeah, 692 if that's to be believed.
All right.
That makes
So
sense.
something
That
like
checks out.
that. Plus this one, plus a couple that haven't been posted yet. So what do we get to first? 1,000 overall um
Yeah, we'll hit 1,000
episodes
before. Yeah,
or 300 weekly.
Ooh.
I think we'll hit 1,000 episodes because
Yeah.
you do an average of 2 to 3 episodes a week of other
Hmm.
things, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
between the book clubs and the interviews, yeah, I think the 1,000 will hit before the 300.
yeah, because in any given week you have approximately 3 times more episodes than our 1 week episode. So yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I think so. That'd be interesting if we
Tyler, you will appreciate this. We have 666 downloads in the last 30 days.
We got to keep that number right there,
right
guys.
at 666. Funny.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
guys, thanks for listening, and we will catch you guys after the next page. See ya.